Broccoli's hella good. I ain't gonna lie.
That's your cue.
Broccoli's hella good. You ain't even gonna lie.
It's so good. I'm eating it right now.
I'm just glad you ain't lying to us about it.
I'm not.
That's
Where's
good.
Phil Spencer, man? Where is he?
What the fuck?
Phil, you're
Fonz.
late.
That's because
Phil?
Fonz ain't even here. Well, you know, Fonz
Phil.
might not be here, but you know who is here?
I want to know.
The chat. The chat's here. And we got to say hi to the chat because the chat power everything that we do. Fonz, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I didn't have my headphones on. Sorry.
I didn't want you to start talking about your foot fetish or something. We're live, you know? Well, we got to keep that kind of stuff under wraps. But you know what? We got to say
bunions.
We got to say hi to everybody joining Real Deal Xbox podcast every single Tuesday at this time. So just look over at your clock and the calendar and be here next week and the week after because we do this every week. It's kind of something I do to supplement my normal videos, which I love doing. But we do this every week, as you know. We have some awesome guests, and I like to have a lot of people from the community on, and really just my own panel on because we like to have fun and build chemistry and whatnot, as the chat puts it lovingly. So again, guys, if you're here watching, hit the like button, tell a buddy or two about the show, and of course, let us know your thoughts. We got some phenomenal topics today, as well as a really, really cool panel. Tim Dog's not here today. He's having his 7th vasectomy. I just told him chop it off. It's not a big deal at this point.
Yeah, man.
We've also got a guest. We'll get into that. But D-Batch, how you been, buddy?
I'm good, man. Just enjoying myself gaming, taking a break away. We got some really good topics this week, man. So I'm excited. I've got a lot of energy this week. And so let's just go, man.
Oh, we've also got Fonzarelli. You know, I got recommended one of your old Grounded Gamer videos yesterday.
You know what? F you. But let's go ahead and let's just get this show started. I can't wait. Pong, it's great to have you here. I'm excited.
Thank you, sir.
The box. Hey, we've also got Zalker87, buddy. How you been?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to be here. A lot of topics. Halo killed Battlefield, apparently.
Oh, shit.
And, the developer is going to point the finger at everybody else but themselves. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, people are saying they're attacking Halo. I don't want to go into that, and that's going to be a really fun one. We've also got Pong Soul. You've never been on here for a whole episode, but I had you on here for a big chunk of one. And you know what? You did great. We played some games together. I think you're a nice guy, and I'm just a big fan of your hairdo, man. How you been?
Thank you, dealer. I try to keep the hair right. Look, this is fantastic. Great to be here for my second time. I thought I was going to be banned after my record. So it's nice to know that I'm not. But look, a lot of stuff going on in gaming. It's freaking amazing. Atlas actually showing some love to Xbox.
I forgot about that topic. That's how memorable their games are.
Yeah, Call of Duty's even going to get a year or two off. So, hey, everything's looking bright there as well. So, yeah, no, lots of great topics. Awesome to be here with all you brothers. So, let's get down to business.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Call. Zach, don't let me forget about that because I didn't have time to write down the topics. But I got to give some shout-outs. For one, Dark CMF. Dark CMF is building himself a cathedral to watch movies in. He says Pegasi or Shady, taking Shadow Warrior day and date. That's something we're going to be talking about too, man. Poor developers, families, how will they eat? You got to support the developer, man. Yeah. So that's going to be something we're going to talk about, like Shadow Warrior 3 hitting PlayStation Now and day and date. We'll come to that, but I'm gonna go into a particular little subtopic there with all these guys that talk so much crap about Game Pass and how will the developers eat and how are you going to support them if you're going to play their game in PlayStation Now day and date. I have no idea. I guess we'll get into that eventually, chat. But I got to give a few shout-outs here to my patrons, or at least the shout-out tier. If you're a patron, you should be up in the scroll. If you're not, please message me on Xbox, preferably. That's probably where easiest way to get back at you. But we got, shut up, Fonz. Fuck me up every time. Dub Mobile, shout out to you, buddy. Ruben Almighty, Dave Incubus, Ricky Falam, Fatlines, Not Silik, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nano Polymath, Zordon, Costanza, KY Bob, Goose 8402, Stride Khalifa, Assassin Lupa, Foreign Objects, just chatting with him on Twitter today. John Blue, Teo Gabquist, as well as Vecball, Stevie X Real Doneo, Suicide King, Texas Genie, Michael Bong, Guillermo Cavilla, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. Shout out to all the verbal shout out tier guys. You guys are amazing. Hey, hey Zalker, did you know that, well, for one, Halo is seemingly, I don't know if it's dead. I have no idea what's happening with Master Chief right now. But
It's pretty bad.
it also killed EA and Battlefield with it.
Yeah.
It pulled a suicide grunt on Battlefield.
It did, and that's what the developer was saying, that the shadow drop, or basically like the surprise drop, like, because on that weekend they dropped Battlefield, right? And then 2 days later, 3 days later, Halo was like, here's our multiplayer. So they're blaming it on that, COVID, and then they like talked about how they were having troubles with the engine, which they built the fucking engine that like DICE did. It's the Frostbite engine. That's their baby.
Yeah.
And so like all the stuff is like basically pointing fingers at why it didn't do well, when in reality, simple functions like, I don't know, joining a fire squad didn't work, or joining in a game with your fire squad and not being in the same squad in the game didn't work, or just maps not working, loading not working, stuff not working. Portal was pretty cool, but again, there was a lot of bugs attached to it. Basically, they released a piece of shit game that came out, was like, it had so much promise, a lot of fun during the beta. I had a lot of fun with it. But at the end of the day, those bugs start to like shine through, kind of like Dying Light 2. At the beginning, you're like, this is kind of nice. And then it just comes apart at the edges. Like it just starts.
So EA are
showing its
saying
ugly
like,
face.
hey, look, Battlefield didn't do what we wanted it to do. It could be the fact
Nope.
that the development team asked for another 6 months and we gave them 2 weeks. But we're not just gonna acknowledge that. We're going to literally blame Master Chief's old ass for the reason as to why Battlefield is underperforming. Now, that could be something, hey, maybe Microsoft stealth dropped it, and, you know, they said, fuck Battlefield, you know, fuck you, here's Halo. Maybe that could be a reason why that kind of happened. But at the end of the day, don't blame fucking Halo for your trash, unfinished game.
Yeah.
I mean, people defending Battlefield at launch, like, it's fine. It's like, what are you playing? No, it's not.
They're still defending it.
They're
You
still
know-
defending it, even though it didn't have any of the patches. A lot of the stuff, like, don't get me wrong, they put in like for PC DLSS. The Xbox had a lot of big patches come to it. Like there was a lot of patches that helped the performance, but again, just little like features that should just be standard. We're not there. Like the
It's
fire team
true.
thing and all that. It's like it sucked. And Gaz is in there saying Zalker said the game was the best. Everyone shit on him. This is coming from a guy that hated Halo's story, but says Dune is the
Hey,
greatest movie ever made, and it's half a story.
Don't deflect, Zucker. You did defend Battlefield at launch.
You know, first off,
Hold up, you little fuck.
he's a toddler, but he's right. You know, there's something called accountability, which EA is not taking here.
No, they're not.
Their game was not simply, it wasn't polished. Okay, they put out a turd, an unpolished turd, and you know, even if it was polished, I think it'd still be a turd. To be honest,
How
the
rude
game-
of you.
No, the thing is to blame it on the pandemic, and then you know when other games are dropping and being much
well.
better games and much better experiences, it's just a cop out. And then to blame another game that is more polished is just asinine. Like that is freaking crazy to say. You know what? F you for having a polished game. Like who does that?
Top Notch
You know,
Box
it's
says he
so-
wants his $100
so
back
dumb.
from Battlefield.
I
So dumb.
think if anything, it just compounded it. The Halo's release, that it was free to play, it compounded the issues that Battlefield was trash, and people said, "Okay, it's trash. Let's go play Halo." And people that were playing Halo that wanted to try Battlefield tried it and said, "Okay, let's go back to Halo." So it's really down to them at the end of the day. Their engine sucked. They had a
Mhm.
lot of fucking bugs. Like I remember playing it at launch, and I would go through the entire map. Like I would fall through the map, and I could see the world above me. Like some weird glitches. Like it was pretty bad. And
It's called
even
a
at that,
feature. It's a feature.
even
Is
even
it a
at that,
feature
people
or a
were,
bug?
they were damage controlling that, saying, "Oh, don't worry, these things kind of happen. It's normal to go through half of the map and see it above you. It's normal." And at the end of the day, yeah, some patches came out and it got fixed a little bit, and it's a lot better than it was at launch. But it's not the game that they promised us. And on top of that, it had no single player campaign. It was just doomed from the start. They should have just delayed that game and released it when it was ready, man. And this is a message to all future games. Cyberpunk had the same fate. Like it's just coming out now, and I know we're gonna talk about it later, so we'll get
You
into
want to know
that.
some? You want to know something terrible? There's a game called Battle Bit that is using the Roblox engine to make a Battlefield game.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that game is more polished
Sounds
and has
awesome.
all the features that Battlefield didn't have. And it is freaking hilarious. And it's in like preview, but they did it to like, I don't know if they did it like as a troll but it had like all the features that Battlefield 2042 doesn't have.
Stop your mindless shilling for BattleBit.
Oh, dude,
Hey,
BattleBit's fucking hilarious.
Hang on,
Bro.
I want to give a
Sorry.
shout out.
listen-
I got to give a shout out to a few people, and I want Pong's take on this as well. But BattleBit, you got to stop your mindless shilling for this, Zauker.
Fucking
Stop
hilarious.
it. We got Psychonauts.
I just want to say happy birthday to Gaz. He's in the
Was
Happy
that
birthday,
was
Gaz.
that really important there, Fonz? Really?
Yes.
God damn it.
It's always important to say happy birthday to
What's
Gaz.
important is
Come
to
on.
say hi to Mr. Joy in the Dark, Psychonauts with that nice
That
platinum
too.
and gold badge. We've also got we got some mean old Trent. Shout out to you, new channel member, as well as Gaz and all the awesome mods in the chat. Lethal Papa as well. Scrub Nurse.
Fuck you guys.
But hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Dark CMF saying happy birthday, Gaz. And of course,
We got Outbreak
Go
Podcast
ahead.
saying great panel. Dealer Fon Zalker Pong D.
Ooh-wee.
We also have a Scrub Nurse 10-month member. These guys knew the game was horrible from the beta to launch to updates. Have we not learned anything yet? Yeah, after freaking year, every freaking year.
Shout out to
Year
Scrub
after
Nurse,
year.
10-month member. Shout out to you, buddy. Psychonauts in there as well. He says, shout out to the panel and everyone in the chat. And Pong, I want your take on this. Battlefield, Broken Field. There's a lot of names for Battlefield. I've got thousands of hours in the franchise. As somebody who felt like there hasn't been a real Battlefield in, I don't know, almost 10 years now, I am disheartened by this. I saw Portal before in the media press bullshit, right? I saw it with all the press like a week early. I was hyping it up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, Pong? What'd you do to the game?
Well, personally, I still love the game.
Fucking
So,
fuck.
The one
no,
guy in the
I
panel.
said before it even launched, I said, look, if they don't stick this landing, I'm going to be the only person playing with a bunch of bots. Right? That's basically what's coming true at this point, right? So no, I just thought this was absolutely ridiculous. I've been ranting about this. This is the COO of the company. She's been with the company for 15 years with this quote. She's been through the wars. And then the next day for them to come out and say, no, it was taken out of context. This was just some hard internal reflection we were doing. Reflection.
We got
You-
fucked
did you
by
guys-
Halo and hard.
Did you guys not reflect after what happened to Anthem that maybe you shouldn't release a broken game?
Facts.
Maybe that should not happen again. Maybe you didn't watch what happened to Cyberpunk and all the crap it took when it
Or
came out?
Battlefield 5 and Battlefield
Or
1.
Battlefield 5, right?
Yeah.
Look, you've got a game that had the perfect chance to come out. You guys failed. You pushed it out the door. All the stories are the devs were asking for more time, months, 3 to 6 months, whatever the case was. You said, no, you got 3 weeks. Well, congratulations. This is what you wind up with then. They were trying to tell you, you guys, after all the lessons
Church.
you've had, you still didn't figure it out. You still didn't learn anything. You pushed this game out. Now you got this game that you have, what, 2,000, 3,000 concurrent players, where Battlefield 5 of all things is peaking at like 25,000 people right now.
You know what it
in
is,
your
Pong?
latest game? Oh, it's
It's the robo legs and arms in Battlefield 5 that are doing it.
probably.
You know what the worst thing is?
I'm gonna
You know-
take EA's side. All right? Halo did kill Battlefield because Halo was a much better multiplayer at launch.
It was, but that's
That
what
it-
happens. And didn't they see what the Halo did? They delayed a year, and what came out?
The mountains.
polished game that supposedly killed you guys off. Right?
Hold on. Let's honestly, let's be a little self-aware here, right? Like,
Shut up,
for them
Zuck.
to even say that Halo killed it is like, do they not see that like Halo's in desperate, like, it's nobody's playing it right now. Halo is dead. Even the hardcore Halo people playing it are even like pleading with 343 to get any type of content. Like, they're like, please fucking give us something. And there's like, this is the game that killed us. It's like, really? Like, that's what happened?
You got
Like,
killed by
it's-
a dead game.
I don't even know. Like, I think both games have troubles. I think both games need certain things. I don't know, man. But for 2042, like, I felt like it had a lot of promise. But again, they just didn't learn. They messed up the landing again. It had everything in there except, you know, the main things that
Let
they
me tell
need,
you
which
how
is
Now
Now
they're
to
looking
be-
like Anthony
Let me-
Davis rolling on the ground. They didn't
That's
land it
how
very well.
broken it is. Battlefield is so broken that dealer asked me back on my birthday, hey, is there any game you want? I want to buy you a game. And I said, you know what? You can pick up Battlefield for me.
Don't tell my
You know
nice
what?
personal stories to people.
Here's the thing. Dealer was
It wasn't
like,
free.
fuck that. I'm not buying that turd for you at all. There's no way. That's how broken
That
game
actually
is.
was. I don't think that was even what happened. But yeah, I mean, I did.
Yeah,
I
that
did.
is what happened.
You were kind of looking forward to the game, man. We
I
kind of
was
were.
until we played that beta, and I'm like,
And then we looked
yeah,
over, Master Chief snapped EA's neck and like, fuck you. I don't know, chat, let us know, because seriously, Zalker's got a point. Like, there are some very, very, very Halo-heavy, Halo-centric guys that are in bathrobes, shout out to Pat-Man, who are not playing Halo right now because there's just no content, and Big Team is still messed up, is it not? Big Team Battle.
Oh, yeah.
Big team battles, sometimes you're sitting in queues for like 7-8 minutes.
So you guys know us.
And then-
We're not
and then
just
when it
going
loads,
to focus
it'll
on just the
disconnect.
positive shit. We're gonna tell you, hey, this is the shit. We're gamers, right? So when we get annoyed that shit like this is happening as gamers, we're not just gonna stick to just the positive side of the stuff. We're gonna say, hey, well, hopefully 343 get their shit together soon, because Halo Infinite launched firing on all cylinders, man. It did.
They came out with an event like the Fiesta event. Like I played the shit
it
out
was
of it.
missing features though. It
Ah!
No, I mean, like I get it, but it wasn't missing. Like, hey, I can't join my team in a party and play. Like that's what Battlefield was missing. Like legit. And and then not to mention like settings reset. Like let's say you have a gun that's modded out, all of a sudden it'll just be wiped off, and you're
That's
like, wait,
right.
what? It'll go down to iron sights, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Like Halo didn't have that. Halo just needs content. That's the main thing it needs. Is that it just needs more stuff. People are not noticing. They delayed the season 2, so that means they probably delayed the co-op.
Yep, and
and
everybody was
everything,
telling
so-
us it'll be here in a month. Don't worry, bitch. And we're all like, Hey,
And so now it's
Ronnie, by
delayed
the way.
past May.
Ronnie, we were going to get to Cyberpunk for sure, brother. We'll get to that. And that's actually, they came out a day later and said the opposite. Nanopolymath linked me to that. So we'll get into that stuff. We've got we got Alex Games Forum for fun. My bad. He says, how's it going, guys? Also, how can you blame a game for another game's failure? It's complete bullshit, brother. Like,
Yeah, it is.
he's saying that he still won't buy Battlefield even after all this stuff. So chat, let us know your thoughts on Battlefield 2042. I've seen nobody really playing the game. Pong's out there by himself playing with some stick figures and shit.
Yep.
But
Hey, my KD's up now.
5-0 KD. Fuck, Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't blame it. It would be the bots are pretty mindless, but they're supposed to be that way, I guess. It's kind of a little fun here and there, but it just feels, it doesn't feel like a Battlefield game to me in a way. Like I don't know what it is about it. Admittedly, I don't have a ton of time in the game because of that. Like even the Portal stuff, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3 stuff back in the Portal mode doesn't feel like Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. There's nothing to grind for. There's nothing to unlock, and I didn't know that when I saw it in the press day stuff. So. Hopefully, EA get their shit together, man. Dead Space, we're counting on you. By the way, speaking of games, this is actually a finished game. One that EA made a long time ago, back when they used to make kind of finished games. Mass Effect 2 and the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is the Shadow Broker side mission. If you guys haven't played these games, they're absolutely phenomenal. Let us know your thoughts on these as you have. We've got almost 900 people already here, guys. Thank you for watching. Check out the, obviously, what everyone's saying in the chat. Hit the like button, tell a buddy or two about the show. And we do got some other topics. That was just kind of an introductory topic. Battlefield killed by Halo, according to EA. And I'm not buying it for a second. I don't know about you guys. Not doing it.
Hey, their analytics said that all the bugs were in acceptable range. So, hey, go with the analytics, right?
It sounded like I guess you got it really far away from your mic for a second. I don't know what kind of mic you're using, but
You
yeah.
said their
kinda,
analytics said that the bugs were acceptable for
okay.
a launch.
It's
And
like
I'm
there was a
sitting there
noise
going
gate that cut you off a little bit. Okay. So they're saying the bugs are acceptable now.
Mhm.
So
Was it a
they're-
launch?
four
Yeah,
or
correct.
5
That's
months
the way
later.
during lunch, that's what they said. That their analytics said that the bugs in the game were acceptable. And I'm sitting there going like, not partying up with your buddies is acceptable? What?
Yeah, it's acceptable. Nothing's
That's
acceptable.
all right.
If you're dealing with an issue where the game is flopping beyond all your expectations, nothing is acceptable. Not one thing, even the best shit you should be questioning. So
If you know that there's an issue with the game and you can notice and spot these issues and it does bother you to a certain degree, you speak up, say something. Like I'm tired of people saying, no, you can't talk about things.
What do you mean? No, you can't. You can't speak out about those bugs. We're going to talk about some Horizon Forbidden West bugs later, and some of the Defense Force that are damage control and some of that stuff. But hey, do you guys know a company called Atlas? That look, I'll be honest, I don't give two shits about their games. As a matter of fact, in the topics I wrote, Atlas finally sees Xbox is worthy to bring one of their games to the platform. They've just constantly ignored Microsoft and Xbox, and to me, I would just throw them out the window, let them roll down the hill. But, you know, I know some fans will some of their games. What's the game that Atlas found Xbox worthy of bringing it to them finally? Soul Snatcher or Crotch Snatcher? Or what's it called?
Soul Hackers 2.
Soul Hackers, Crotch Hackers 2. So what is this game about? And why the hell is everyone making a big deal about this? Like, how come everyone acts like these games are all so amazing from these guys? Pong.
Yeah, speaking as a Atlas fan, so this goes back to Shin Megami Tensei, which is the series that started everything for Atlas, and then the spin-off Persona, which is what everybody knows, but they also had another spin-off called Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, which goes all the way back to the Sega Saturn days. Most people know it from the PS2 days, because how many people actually owned a Saturn other than me? So, but this is a niche JRPG, right? This is one of those niche ones, but Atlas is a fan favorite. They do have a fanatical fan base, and we've been waiting to see something from them. We've basically gotten one game per generation, and they skipped all of Xbox One generation completely. So this is good to see. This is the start of something hopefully good. I know not everybody cares about these games. Totally get it. Again, that's part of the deal, but they need this, with Phil talking about how much he wants to get into the East more and more and more, in Japan specifically. Having Atlas games in your ecosystem is important. Having that diverse library that when people look and say, hey, these are the type of games I play. Oh, look, they even got some Atlas games in there. Awesome.
Like, you got a new genre in the store, weird fucking games, and all the Atlas games pop up.
Yes.
Persona 5. Yes. Oh, my God.
Love that. Love the weird, wacky style, the fun style. And again, they're not for everybody, but there is a lot of people out there who love them. But this game right here, I guarantee you there's some even Atlas hardcore fans that did not know this was actually Devil Summoners from back in the day. But these games are pretty deep. The themes are Bible level, kind of deep if you dive into the lore on them. But again, anime is looking fantastic, so I can't wait to see.
So it feels like what I got from that was I like this kind of shit. It's finally coming to Xbox. It's kind of that niche genre that Microsoft have kind of needed in a way to just shut people the fuck up about it. It's like what I've heard about it. Like Persona 5 would be a big get, I guess, because it was used as a weapon for so long against Microsoft. But Fonz, I know you're into jacuzzi scenes in Final Fantasy. What are your thoughts on this?
Man.
Damn it.
You're right. You're 100% right that I am into. No, I'm just kidding. I look, it's a big get, right? It would be. But at the same time, how many Xbox gamers are really going to buy those games or play those games?
Don't say that. Because I was told by multiple people,
we've
we
seen
need
a
to buy
lot.
these games. We need to buy these games. And I'm
They
like,
do
why?
They do need a variety, but we've seen time and time again when games do release on this side, JRPGs and whatnot, they don't sell or get played as much. And
I hate that excuse too, because you got to cultivate a fan base.
Oh yeah, you do.
So
you do.
releasing one here and there
Xbox-
doesn't do anything. You got to be consistent with the releases and
give
people
I
a chance
agree.
to get to it.
I agree with that, but I'm saying for myself, like I will play with some JRPGs and stuff. So I'll try new games and stuff, but there's been a lot of Xbox guys that just don't, and I don't know what it is. But you're right. Maybe they've got to cultivate it. Maybe
Microsoft shouldn't have to fucking give these guys the world to get them to bring their fucking game over to Xbox. At this point, Microsoft are in a position that no one else is in when it goes to the future and their ability to leverage gaming globally. No one is in this position, and Atlas and all these other guys, and maybe they do, maybe that's why they're doing it, but they should see what's coming in terms of xCloud, in terms of all the markets they're opening up with the cloud, right? They should see all this stuff. So Microsoft shouldn't have to do the reach around and all this shit to get them to bring all this shit over anymore.
I agree with that too. Like, again, it's about what it's going to do for Microsoft if you're talking from a business standpoint. And if they're not getting bought on this side, hopefully they don't pay too much for it or have to do too much.
Well, like Pong Soul said, it's not about buying them. It's not about buying them. It's about just, hey, here's our dev kit, get used to it, kind of make games for it. It's up to the developer if they want to bring it out there. Xbox isn't going to start paying them to bring their games there. Like, that doesn't make sense.
They've done
Like,
that
you
in the
need it,
past,
like, yeah, but like what Pong Soul said, it is true. You got to cultivate a fan base, which means being consistent with bringing these games out there. As someone that doesn't play JRPGs at all, I tried one that was like called Battle Chasers on Game Pass. I played it for like 3-4 hours. I just can't get into it. Like, that's just not my style of game.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy those. I'm not going to buy these games for no reason, like Tales of Arising and all these other ones that are coming to Game Pass now. I have no interest in them. The only game that I feel did a really good job is the new one that came out, Lost Ark. It was like a fusion of Western RPGs and Japanese style of gameplay. And it was very well done, and it still is. Like, I'm like, whoa, I'm enjoying myself here. The gameplay's tight. It's really good. I don't really care about the story, but again, it's about the gameplay and the world building. They have some cool shit in there.
Well,
Now,
I
if
mean,
it's
Microsoft
just, like,
have
that's just it.
tried to get some of these games over here before, and Atlas
Yeah.
specifically has not done so. It's not like Microsoft are saying, pay me to do it, or they've tried getting these guys to do this stuff. So hopefully going forward, like none of us would ever say, hey, diversity is a bad thing when it comes to the titles they're bringing, right? I don't think anybody would ever say that. We said the opposite. The option is good. But as long as Microsoft are not sitting there, doing more than they should fucking have to get them to want to do this type of thing.
Well,
But
it was
also,
like
you
Lost
guys are
Planet.
right. They're right. Zocker and Pong is 100% right. You have to cultivate that type of following. You have to foster it. But the thing is, with Atlas and all these other games, you get a lot of guys like with Others Inc. in the chat saying, F those games and blah. There's a lot of Xbox guys like that. However, this is why a lot of people went over to the PlayStation for those games. So you have a lot of people that will buy a PlayStation just for those JRPGs, just for those
That's true.
other.
Yeah,
Japanese
that's
type
true, but
So
they
you
don't
have to
necessarily
foster
sell
that,
the greatest.
you have to cultivate that here on Xbox, and it's going to take some time. But again, where your point being right, dealer, is that don't try too much, don't do too much. The whole reach around thing, just to get these games over. You know what? You shouldn't have to try that hard. Okay, they should want to sell these games on your box. Period.
And it's not even just that. It's just more of a, I don't know. Like, I know people are saying they buy PlayStations for just that, and I get that. But it's like these things don't sell millions upon millions upon millions. Like, they're very niche kind of like market, and it's why a lot of this is because I think of xCloud. I think it's xCloud. Like, a lot of the Japanese market love, playing their games on mobile. It's why the Switch is dominating. It's why 3DS and all those were dominating. It's just what it is. And that's what, if xCloud can provide that, like, hey, you can play Persona, 6 or whatever the hell the next one is on your phone right there for a subscription. Like, people will get that there. Like, that's the whole point.
I want
And
the chat's take, honestly. Zucker, cue a few of these up why I kind of get a quick poll from the chat. I mean, we want, and just to be clear, and we said this before years ago, we want games like this to make their way over, and Pong is absolutely right. To do anything, you've got to cultivate stuff. To build a YouTube channel about a particular subject, for example, you need to build videos about that subject and get people over to your channel and cultivate a group of people that want to actually engage in that content. How else are you going to get anyone to watch that kind of content? It's like you randomly coming out with a fucking video about how superchargers work, but your channel's about video games. Nobody's going to watch that shit because you haven't cultivated a group of guys over there that will actually support anything like that. This is the same logic here. Hey, come play these games. They're over on Game Pass. They're on Xbox. And chat. One, if you really, really are excited for this. 2, if you're not. Obviously, 3, if you like turtles. Zachary, go ahead and read off a few of these super chats, will you?
Yeah, we got AJ Hutton. He says, "Sup, fellas? Been a while since I've joined live. Really curious. Might be alone on this. Where the hell is Rocksmith Plus?"
Ooh, I have no idea what that is.
I don't either.
Isn't that the rock and roll game that
I just get real guitars.
Game? Is that it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I have no idea what he's
we got,
talking
sorry, man, we don't know. Splendiferous, are you guys being toxic again? What the fuck? Pong, what's up, bro?
Always.
We're always
We're the
toxic,
opposite
man.
of Crayola markers, bitch. Toxic.
We got Risk It. He says, loving the show. Panel is fire as always. Pong is a great guest. What a champ. Halo needs work and content for sure. Still love it. Can't wait for co-op. You're going to be waiting, all right.
You know what, guys?
Okay, Rocksmith is the game where you learn to play the guitar.
We know what Rocksmith is, Fonz. Learn to play an instrument.
Hey, I didn't know.
I'm done with
Hey,
the,
guess
that's
what,
all
though?
the super
After the poll went off, right? We got a lot of each one, but we got more I like turtles than anything. We got more threes.
Xbox, bro.
Just shout out to Caitlin in the chat. turtle emojis across the screen. Jedi Knight Peter, everybody that supports the show. Risky for the biscuit. Shout out to you, buddy. Everybody that
Okay.
I swear to God. And of course, Assassin Lupa, Others Inc., Xcoin, all you guys. Kanye West, your last album was trash. But yeah, did you get Meat Puppets? He says, in my opinion, the new Battlefield and Halo aren't you in the biggest dumpster fire. Aren't you? I don't know if you used the speak to text on that, sir, but maybe someone else can interpret that. Shout out to you, buddy. He just says shout out to the panel. He's seen on Twitter. They aren't the biggest dumpster fires he's seen since Twitter, maybe.
But he's trying to say. He's trying to say this.
Zoka is a toddler.
That's what he's trying to say.
Oh.
Did you get Riskets?
No. I mean, I did one of his.
Well, there's another one for Zalker mentioning you. Come on now, get your shit together.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I don't see it. All I got were the
What are
ones
you
I
eating
read.
over there? You sound like you're eating something.
The fucking broccoli. I told you.
You weren't kidding.
I wasn't. Broccoli's fucking fire.
All right. Well,
look at this. Bright Tundra 1 says, can Zucker please explain to me how superchargers work? I don't want to join any other channels. Okay.
Well, see, forced induction. Yeah, I mean.
Well, the suspension of this fucking thing.
As Zalker would say, chincock guy. It's Chinook guy, Zalker. He says JRPG fans on Xbox usually like Final Fantasy and Persona, by the way.
Oh my!
Shout out to you, Chinook guy. I'm sorry, Zalker mispronounced your name. Risk it for the biscuits is loving the show. Panel is he's a Balchinian. Panel is fire as always. Pong is a great guest. I think we read this one. Yeah, we did. Shout out to Risk it for the
Read
biscuits.
it again.
Shout out to you're a champion,
you,
Pong.
Pong.
So you're hey, Tim Dog. Do you know what Martha's Dead is? No, I've never heard about that. Fuck you, Tim Dog.
Dude,
This is a good moment from last week's show. If you missed it,
yep,
Too
I
much.
died.
hey, Pong's probably wasn't even paying attention. He probably didn't even catch it last week, but it was good, man. Shout out to Chinook guy.
I wasn't paying attention. I was here, sir.
Doc is a toddler. But yeah, we've got 1,100 people watching, guys. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy or two about the show. I say it about 47 times a show because I have to. Someone with a large rock will hit me with this if I don't do it. So hit the like button. Let's start it closer to 1,000 for the end of the show. And of course, let us know your thoughts in the chat below as we do move forward from what the hell were we on? Fuck. Atlas finally thinking Xbox is worthy. To Contraband. Contraband, by the way.
Contraband.
It's a game where you smuggle rare cheeses into the country. I don't know what the hell this game's about exactly.
Nobody knows.
But it has been in development since 2018, Fonz. And this is one of the biggest games that they showed off over the past summer event. One of the best gaming events we ever saw last summer. Contraband.
Hold up. I don't know if this is one of the biggest games shown, but it was highlighted.
There was music in it.
A music sizzle reel type thing. Well, not even a sizzle reel. It was just
It
like
had a trailer.
It showed a record playing, and it just kind of the
With
camera
Steely
panned
Dan.
across several different
Respect him.
things.
Yeah, it's Steely
and-
Dan playing.
Yeah, Steely Dan playing in the background, and nobody gave a shit.
What? Here
everybody
goes
was just
Fonz
like-
on his hate train, chat.
No,
I know. He's like, wait a minute, it's co-op.
you
I
just
don't
gotta-
want to fucking touch it, Fonzarelli.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's bad. I don't even know what it is. That's exactly what I'm saying. We don't know what it is. We don't know how big or small the game is.
It's an
just a
open
game
world
that's being-
heist game with co-op. Like you
It's
do
being-
cool heists in multiplayer like world where you can actually
Yeah,
steal
but
other
we-
people's shit.
We really. Oh, okay. So you know all that.
So it's Sea of
Okay,
Thieves.
so-
And then it's gonna also have car combat, which Jez has
Oh,
talked
really?
about. Yeah, he said that that's the same people that made Mad Max. So it's gonna be car combat. There's gonna be a bunch of
Oh,
other stuff in it.
that's interesting.
And it's set in, I think, the 70s.
Oh, look at Fonz's tone change now, chat.
Yeah.
because it's made by Mad Max.
He's
team.
like,
That's
mm.
And the
great.
Avalanche Studios, they're the ones. So
Avalanche
like,
Studios,
right,
yeah.
they released Rage 2, which had that car combat. They helped with that. They helped develop that game. That released in 2019. So they had probably the A team and all that working on Contraband, getting the what they wanted down with it. Right? Because it takes about a year or two
Don't
to
accuse
get down
them
the
of
core
being the A
gameplay
team.
loop.
The
No,
18?
I'm saying the A team probably helped with Rage 2, then moved on to this project.
Don't accuse them of
Once
helping with
2 was
Rage
done.
2.
Don't accuse them of anything. They're not making shit. There's no A team.
Oh, shit.
No, but they've been working on this for 4 years. Avalanche Studios has. Xbox locked them down to do this, and I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to this. I think this is pretty cool. This is one of those you know, what did it? Jez said that it was one of the studios that this is the first time they made a game like this, and so they're taking their time with it. So
we got another Mass Effect Andromeda situation, chat.
Oh,
no,
you mean another Anthem?
No. You know, I was going to go to Pong, but I'm sure he only has great things to say about this.
Pong, are you excited for Tiger Lily Tiger 13.5?
I'm just fucking.
I actually like
Pong.
2.
I got to get to D-Batch, though, man. D ain't said nothing. He's in the background chewing on his fucking toenails. D-Batch, Contraband, been in development since 2018.
We still haven't seen gameplay or anything.
Yeah.
Woo.
I got nothing to say on it, to be honest.
Fucking D-Batch.
Nothing negative, nothing positive. I haven't really even heard anything of this game, and we haven't seen anything on it, so it's like...
Are you in the middle of, like, all your mining PCs in the background? What's going on?
Dude, what the hell?
Did you really hear that, for real?
He's sitting in there cross-legged, just, praying to his mining.
Cross-legged?
Anyway.
More Ethereum.
So, chat, D-Batch doesn't care about Contraband. Just write it down. Pongsoul.
The fans better now?
Yeah, it's better. Pongsoul, what are your thoughts on Contraband and the fact that you'll be robbing each other online and stealing rare cheeses and smuggling them into stuff?
Sounds great. I love Avalanche. So this is going to be something cool, interesting, and different. Obviously, we've got a lot of co-op type games out there right now. I think this one's going to bring something unique. Jez kind of added to it recently over this past week that he's heard that it is definitely more focused on the car aspect of it, that you really are going to have to plan out these heists. That there are going to be weapons, but a lot of them are going to be more for disabling the vehicles and that kind of stuff. So I think this is a great match with Avalanche Studios to bring this type of game. So I can't wait to see more. I mean, my ideas are running wild, right? Set in the 70s on an island. Look, are we going to be transporting to boats and planes? Are you going to be able to, hop on other people's vehicles and, start stealing?
It's like a co-op,
whatever that
co-op
is.
type of thing comes to my mind, right?
Yeah.
Like with your friends. To be serious, right? We like to wild out in the show and say dumb shit. But to be serious, the co-op aspect of something like this, working together with potentially more than one set of people, like more than one crew, to coordinate a heist of some kind. Hopefully, they're a lot better than GTA 5's heists. But
maybe you'll get to
it's going to be an open world.
Game. Maybe you'll get to a pivotal point in the game where you have a choice of either shooting a guy or not shooting a guy. That's very important, and your friend just comes along and says, "F this guy," and shoots him. Boom.
So I think it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to have story in it. I think it's going to be an open world game with set pieces of like heists that you do with your buddies, and other people try to like take it out or take it from you. Kind of like think of for me, you think of Sea of Thieves, right? That's an open world where you get shit, and if somebody steals it from you, you get nothing. Or if you think of the Dark Zone in Division, where you go, you do something, you get shit,
and everyone gets
kill
pissed.
you and take it. Yeah, no, I mean that's my kind of game. Sorry, I love the Dark Zone.
Look, the Dark Zone was trash, and you know it.
You
the
just
Dark
love
Zone
griefing,
was so
bro. You need to
I
play
love
Roblox.
fucking with
You
people,
need to play
bro.
Roblox
all the time.
I am on Roblox. I played BattleBit, bitch. I just brought that up.
You did.
BattleBit.
Bro, it's such a stupid, derpy game. I was like, this is dumb.
You hang on. You really did play it?
Oh, dude, 100%. Because they're like, it's making fun of Battlefield. I'm like, let me look at this trash game. And I played it. I was like, oh, they do have all the functions that Battlefield doesn't.
Oh, man. Chat, I'm sorry about that. This motherfucker actually booted up Roblox and played BattleBit.
It's not Roblox. It's called BattleBit.
Is it? I thought you said it was a mode made in
It like
Roblox.
they use the engine from Roblox and they made it into like this destructible like world with tanks and shit. Oh, it's fucking hilarious. I was laughing.
He's gonna get some people to download that tonight. Watch.
You're damn right they are. They're gonna request access and they're gonna get it and they're gonna play it and be like, "This is derpy. It's great."
Hey, Dark Sea Mav, shout out to you.
So.
$5 super chat. He says, he says, anyone else find it interesting that the Pegasus, who rave about one and done PlayStation games? Still, why you gotta call them that, Dark Sea Mav? He says they want to talk about new Xbox games and say that they are dead in the multiplayer numbers. Well, I mean, hey. We all know most of those guys are full of shit, but Halo is kind of struggling right now. You know, they like to exaggerate shit. You ain't got nothing else to do. If not for Twitter, they wouldn't be playing shit. Right? Didn't Horizon just come out fun as fuck?
Yeah, of course Horizon came out, and it's fun. It's great. It's awesome. It's a little buggy, but it's
By the way,
amazing.
By the way, it's the second biggest launch in PlayStation 5. I don't know how it didn't beat Miles Morales, but it didn't.
Because I was
that came out on
talking.
2 consoles.
Well, I
right?
was talking
Or
to
no, so did
Forte.
this.
I was talking to Forte, and he said that Miles Morales was always on the top of the charts because he's a guy. He's a manager of a GameStop. He said because they forced Miles Morales into a bundle. So you couldn't get a PS5 without actually getting Miles Morales. Francisco,
like
the
$10 super
Uncharted
chat.
4 effect, because that's what they did with Uncharted 4.
Stop being toxic, Fonz. Francisco,
I'm
I'm trying to give a shout out to Francisco. Shit, he says,
Oh,
I wonder if
all right,
Turtles is
go.
code for something. No, sir, it's not. It's just Turtles. Dub, by the way, says, what are your thoughts on Street Fighter potentially missing the Xbox again? Sony literally paying Capcom to keep it off of Xbox. Yes, we will get into that and how they basically just stole a logo off of Adobe stock.
Oh my God.
That's interesting, man. You're talking about a lazy marketing department, man. I know people that would do that shit. They would kill to have a job like that, to build a logo, a custom logo for Street Fighter, and you just got some turd over there going to Adobe stock and be like, what can I do? And just stealing the damn logo with that or buying it. Would they buy it or steal it?
They stole it?
It's like $80 for this logo, for the Street Fighter logo. It's on Adobe stock for like $80. I almost used it for this thumbnail.
You
Not
should.
really. I didn't, and I wouldn't because I don't like the logo. But Contraband, it is what it is. Hey, there's also news that broke today. Shadow Warrior 3, the game that we talked about last week, Fonz was actually really excited for it. It's day and date on PlayStation now. So you can go PlayStation now, Fonz?
Yeah, no, it's only the PlayStation 4 version, apparently.
Oh, that's how they get you.
Yep.
Damn
It's
it, chat.
apparently only the PlayStation 4 version going to PS Now. And that sounds kind of odd, right? Doesn't make sense, but...
Didn't they
it's a
do that
start, I
with
guess.
Avengers? They're like, hey, it's in PS Now. Have fun with 900p.
Yeah, they did. That's right. They did do it with Avengers.
Are you sure, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Bro, that is so trash.
It's not a pregnancy test. He just told you it's a PS4 version.
It's like you get there, Maury pops out. You are not the PS5 version. Like, no!
Yep. It's an odd choice, just like it was for Avengers, but it's I don't know what Jim is thinking, man. That guy, I don't know. I don't know.
I broke dealer, bro.
So stupid. You are not the PS5 version. Motherfuckers doing backflips. Motherfuckers doing backflips in the background. Shout out to Ashtray Gaming. Shout out to you, buddy. David BGS, as well as Bud the Cyborg. And everyone else in the chat, man. Immortal Jedi, XCOM, who's laughing. He's dying right now with laughing emojis. But yeah, is that the case, Fonz, or is that more propaganda from you? So, like you, just like with Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, I'm such a liar, and yeah, guys, it's really not for the PS5 at all. It's on PS Now. It's only the PS4 version. This is a fact. This is just how it is, and it sucks. It's stupid. I wasn't even going to subscribe for this service anyway, just for this game. But if this had been the PS5 version and they start doing more of these kind of deals, it does entice you at that point. But no, not the PS4 version. Sorry, not doing it.
So, smart delivery is still just a buzzword, right?
Yeah. Oh, really?
My
Oh,
gosh.
man.
Remember?
By the way,
remember
and
Red
Horizon-
Dragon? Red Dragon was like, smart delivery is a buzzword.
Hey, the headache
Who the
that I
hell is
had with
that?
Horizon. First of all, I preloaded Horizon's Forbidden West, ready to play it at midnight. Luckily I went online and I was just looking at some stuff, and they're like, "Oh, if you got the PS4 version, you're gonna have to download the PS5 version for your update, but you can't do it until the game comes out till midnight." So I had the PS4 version loaded for no damn reason. Midnight comes, I can finally get the PS5 version, download the PS5 version, and then I gotta delete the PS4 version. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Smart delivery is a godsend, and this is a situation.
It was the same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. Same thing. You had to re-download
It's a
the whole
buzzword,
PS5
D-badge.
version. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, it saves so much time for people that have data caps. It helps them. Like, let's not damage control this. I don't understand why Sony.
bad.
Well, I kind of do understand why Sony, because they don't focus so much on the software side of things like Microsoft does, and we know this without VRR being on the console and
I mean, they
and whatnot.
literally
So we
tried
know-
to take back their free upgrade for this game, D-Batch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
they tried to
and that's
hide it,
another
yeah.
thing. They hid the fact that you could get a free upgrade on the PS4, and you know for a fact that they did that because they're offering the PS5 version for $10 more. Now, who in their right mind is going to buy the $10 more expensive version for the PS5? And I actually got an answer for that because I saw some dude on Twitter. he's like, oh man, you gotta support the developers, man. I'm definitely gonna get the PS5 version for $10 more to support the devs. Well, I got a news flash for you, you
Oh,
moron.
shit.
The developer doesn't get a cent of that. They already got paid. They get a
Fact.
bonus, I guess, if the game sells a little bit more, they'll get bonuses, whatever. But that $10 that you wanted to give to that developer so badly, Sony took it and went and bought some booze with it, man. Like, Sony gets
Some booze.
Bold claims, D-Batch.
Yeah, both
into
claims.
his pocket. Doesn't go to the dev. So it's just stupid. Why would I don't understand it. Why do you want to be a slave for these companies? Why do you want to pay more for a product when they're
How
offering it for
dare-
less? Like how brainwashed are
Damn,
you?
D-Batch going off about the
Maybe
food
they-
resources.
Maybe they wanted to buy him a Cisco or something. I don't know. Maybe they wanted some, you know.
Now you got to
some
bring
Mad Dog.
Cisco into this. Hey,
Hey,
you know,
I don't
speaking
know.
of
I'm just
Horizon
saying.
Forbidden West,
Maybe they
right?
need it.
Speaking of Horizon Forbidden West, right? Which, by the way, Shadow Warrior 3, just to come back to that real quick, right? And again, guys, let us know if you're going to play Shadow Warrior 3 and apparently the fucking Ouya
It
version.
looks good.
I wasn't done, bitch. Apparently the Ouya version
good. You
on
just came out of
PlayStation
nowhere.
Now, you can get it for free, right? Not the PS5 version. But let us know if you're going to subscribe to PS Now, because we do have some Sony guys that hang out with us. If you're going to subscribe for PS Now for the PS4 version of this, or if you can't get a PS5 and maybe
Why are you
that's...
gonna do that?
Well, like some people don't have a PS5. It's still hard to get one of these fucking things, right? So, Shadow
I
Warrior
mean,
3,
30
I'm going to buy it. I already bought it on Xbox, actually, and I'm going to play it on Xbox, but, you know, it would have been cool to have in Game Pass. I won't obviously deny that. Competition's great, but they got to sort out their PS4 and PS5 versions of shit, because you shouldn't even be having paid upgrades to begin with, and they should be one and the same. They should be one and the same, like Microsoft do. If it was on
Even
Game Pass and had a
developers say
Series X
this.
patch, it would be there. You wouldn't have to fuck with none of this.
Yeah, you even have developers out there that say stuff like that. Like, you shouldn't have to pay for an upgrade. Developers say this. So it's just crazy to me. Again, that $10 upgrade, D's right. It's just going to booze. That's it. So apparently.
And you know, I think this is going to be kind of interesting though. Like when you look at I know we're trolling and all that. It's funny, but I think that now it's like, are they going to start locking some of these down? Is this like a play to see how their servers are going to handle something like this, or see what subscription they're going to get? Is this a Spartacus move, right? Because that's around the corner. People keep talking about that, and they're expecting like day and date. Some people are even reporting that. So we'll see. I mean, and everybody's like, they're never going to go day and date. It's like, well, they just locked down for the first
Soccer.
time ever a day and date triple.
I
Like,
don't
you know, a
think it is
big
the
game
first
comes
time.
out.
Soccer. If this is a Spartacus move, Spartacus is dead. Yeah, we're gonna bring you the PlayStation.
What
4
I'm saying is they've
versions.
never done this
No.
before. They've never locked down a new game coming to PlayStation.
I think they have, though.
Avengers, right?
Uh,
You said Avengers.
No,
Well,
Avengers
like-
has been on PlayStation Now, but I'm talking day and date
Day and date?
launching
It
on
wasn't
there.
day
Like
and
from
date.
what I can look at, Shadow Warrior is the first one, and from what other articles from like Push Square and a couple other people have said, like this is the first time that they can remember that this has happened.
I think it has
they-
happened before, but Push Square and all these guys
Chat,
should already
correct
know.
us if we're wrong.
Push-
Chat, correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, Push
I
Square
don't
and all
know.
these guys should already know. Look, if we tell you this shit's gonna happen, shut the fuck up and listen. Like, obviously they're gonna push day and date. They need to push the fucking service. This is what they're gonna be pushing more than anything now that they completed their whole server routes in Europe. Like, that was something Jim Ryan himself said. We never pushed PlayStation Now hard, or even streaming for that matter,
True.
because we couldn't offer the same service to a guy over in Poland to, you know, the same guys over into a different fucking place. We didn't have servers. Now their whole server system is set up over there to do the basics, and they can kind of offer that stuff, and they're
They
going to
signed
push
with
it.
Azure. They signed with Microsoft for shit like this, not just streaming.
Yeah,
right?
and
They
we'll
signed
see where that
contract.
goes.
And then the other thing is that a lot of people are not looking at this like, yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn launched really well. Like, it did good, but it was 35% less than the first one. Like, in sales for physical. They know digital is the way. Everybody knows that. Like, digital is the way of the future. And
To be
it's not
clear,
just
you're not
like
running
selling
with
digital-
some bullshit. It only sold to 40%. You're like some,
No.
some
no.
bullshit
It's-
UK
this is-
charts of 0.1% of sales. Like, you're not
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
that. You're just saying that,
No,
hey,
no, no. I'm
digital's
just saying,
important.
like, hey, digital's really important now, right? Like, that's the thing that's going to be reported this week. It's probably going to be freaking insanely, like, higher than anything we've seen, and that's what Sony sees also. Like, that's going to be huge. Is digital subscriptions and digital sales. Like, they know that. They're not fucking dumb. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Facts. Punk Soul, you looking forward to Shadow Warrior 3 on PlayStation now, the PS1 version?
I had a PlayStation, I would, but I
You don't have
currently
a
without
PlayStation?
one.
What?
So
Fucking fanboy. Kick it.
no, I don't. No,
Tell me he
no.
hates
I was. I had one and I sold it right away because
Well, you weren't one of those guys that bought a platform for those Japanese games, huh?
I did last year.
You got
I
wrecked.
started out on PS4. PS4 I did.
Oh, okay. Well, so
that was it.
you're
I love Shadow Warrior.
are you going to play it on the Xbox?
Yeah, I am.
Better good.
So I absolutely number 2, man, over 80 hours. I love Shadow Warrior.
Damn. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm looking forward to the third one, man. March 1st. March
Absolutely.
1st.
And by the way, in case you're wondering what it is, Shadow Warrior 2 is on Game Pass right now.
yeah, FPS boost, shimmer off your screen,
Yep.
but it's at least it's doing it at
It's
60
the
frames.
360 version. 360. Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, let us know what you think about Shadow Warrior, guys.
It looks good. Somebody was in the chat saying, "Oh, it looks like no, not in the chat. They were on Twitter and they replied to me when I talked about Shadow Warrior 3. They were saying that it looked like just a cheap ripoff or something of Doom, and it didn't look that good. And I was like, it looks
even
fun.
trickle
I don't
down
care.
Doom, I'll play. Doom Eternal was
Yeah,
fantastic.
It looks
Eternal's
fun,
amazing.
and anything that looks Doom-esque like that, yeah, I'm down to try.
Alex Games for Fun, shout out to you. Says I'm gonna try that bit game Zucker was talking about. No lie, just to check it
here we
out.
go.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
You
one.
and Zocker can team up together.
You
Zocker
got
is
one.
a toddler.
Fucking stupid. Zucker is a toddler. Hey, speaking of Horizon Zero Dawn, right? A lot of the chat wants us to cover this. I got some messages about it. I've seen some stuff about it. There's issues with Horizon. I want to kind of say this first and foremost. They are not crazy or fucking ridiculous. The PS5 brickings, which there are some PS5s that are bricking after about 20 minutes of playing the game. I don't know how widespread that stuff is, but there are some glitches and bugs and visual issues. And I guess we're going to go over some of that stuff. Fonz have been playing the game, and I know some of you guys have been wanting to know about it, but there are also a group of guys out there on Twitter who's like, anyone saying this game is anything other than perfect is a liar. Like, the
It's
damage
an
control
11
and
out of
frauds,
10.
the same motherfuckers as always. The guys said we didn't need God of War, we had State of Decay and then flip-flop. You know, the same people as always, damage controlling that don't even get paid to do it by the company they're doing it for. You know, when Halo had issues, we had Major Nelson on the podcast live after the fucking debut of gameplay, asking him why the mountains are popping in the background. We did not give a shit. I didn't give a shit. I was the one doing it. We are honest about this stuff. No matter what, we're gamers. We don't work for these fucking companies. We're not here to do anything other than represent our real opinions. And my real
With
opinion
Halo
is why
Infinite.
motherfuckers damage control.
With Halo Infinite, we talk trash, right?
Well, what
We
trash?
did.
It was like honest feedback. It wasn't trash.
Yeah,
like,
No,
honest
even
feedback,
just
and that's what
now,
I'm
even just
saying.
now, calling it like almost dead and how they need content and need to fucking get seasons out there and more
Exactly.
progression. Like we're not. That's
That's not
that's
what
what we do
I'm
here, and
saying.
that's why people hate hearing us because not only do we just talk shit about everything. Like, hey, if it's fucked up, it's fucked up. And Horizon Forbidden West, have not played it, but I have seen a lot of people say that. I think there was bricking people's PS5s, right?
Yeah.
There's a
There's
few I
couple of
saw.
those being reported. There was a few. There was a lot of glitches. I've seen people report like, "Hey, I'm falling through the earth. Like, I'm having this. Like, there was like video evidence of this. Like, multiple people, not just people gathering all
You're
this shit. It was
lying,
like a lot of
Zucker.
people
You're
putting
lying.
this up. But
Yeah,
no,
we're
I mean,
all
like
lying.
it's a big game. For me, like games like that are massive. I expect like bugs and
Of
stuff.
course.
Like that's just what it is. But Fonz, you've been playing it for a little bit now, right?
Yeah, I've got about 5 hours in now. I think that the game, I want to put more into it. Let me just preface this by saying that the game itself is really fun. I personally,
is.
I'm really liking the game a lot. It could be a gorgeous game if they would just get rid of that damn shimmering in performance mode. Look, they tell you that there's a hot fix for this. You have to, and this is what's funny, dealer. They tell you this is coming from the devs. You have to download the patch, and then you have to quit the game twice, and then it fixes. And I quit the game like 100 times. That thing is not fixing.
No,
It's
it's not.
still
It's
there.
not fixing it. It's
God
not.
damn, sounds like
No.
you're on a PC. Hell yeah.
So anyway, it's still there. There's shimmering issues. There's HDR issues. There is issues with the something about light fluctuations that I can see in when I switched it over to 30 FPS mode. I notice it there when you're turning the camera and stuff. The light it gets like dimmer, and then when you stop,
It's the dynamic range.
yeah, it's the HDR for sure. And like some areas are really bright, overly bright, and I had to tone it down on my OLED because it just didn't look right. So HDR is kind of borked, especially on OLEDs. I'm reading that it's mostly to do with people's OLEDs. I don't know why that even plays a factor, but I see it. It's more apparent, obviously.
It's because of the white point, because of OLEDs. The max is like 600 to 800 nits, and I just think it's off by default. I think it's wrong.
It. Yeah. So it overly brightens. It gets to be too much. But the shimmering is really what bothers me in performance mode. And I had a lot of people telling me, well, just put it in 30 frames mode and you'll get used to it. And I'm like, oh my God. I put it in 30 frames mode. You take a step and it's like a stuttering mess. Like 30 frames feels horrible. And people will even lie and say, oh, it feels good in this game though. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Somebody even went to lengths to tell me, well, what you do now is you spec into your concentration so you could slow time down during combat so much that you don't feel the frame rate.
You are not the PS5 version.
Idiot. You're an idiot, okay? And that's the truth. That guy is on Twitter. He's up there. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but I would blast you right now. You are an idiot, sir. An idiot.
Idiot 5572 on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, he's like, yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
he's just slow down time.
Time out. They put something in the game for you to fix it though, Fonz. Like you got to give them credit.
The slow mo, bitch.
The slow mo, man. They put something in the game.
Yeah.
Like, come on, stop being a hater, dude. Don't demand better
Here's the thing.
ever. You're such a piece of shit.
So I was looking at this game and I was going, wait, this doesn't look right, man. This shimmering is just off. And so I say something on Twitter, and of course I get haters. And then I look online and I see Vincent Teo from HD TV Test, and he had a video saying, yeah, this is an eyesore. It's just not right. And he explains what's going on, shows you, and I'm like, there it is, boom. Vindicated, right? Put it up there. No, now he's an Xbox fanboy, a guy who just looks at TVs.
He's an Xbox.
And deals with resolutions and understands HDR and the tech, and he's saying it's a problem, but no, he's an Xbox. People will just go to fanboys. I'll say, will just go to great lengths at trying to make people look stupid, and when in fact you're the one that's stupid because you keep your mouth shut and you don't want to say anything because you don't want to offend your precious fucking plastic box.
Oh, shit.
Or these developers. I'm sorry. The developers at the end of the day work for us, people. We pay for these games. These aren't free. Okay.
Hey.
So if we're shelling out $60, even $70, it better come in a decent state. And this game, it's a great game. It's in a decent state. It's not terrible, but it's got its issues. It's got flaws. And if
what you're trying to say is
it's for
you
good.
should be allowed to say, hey, I hope this gets fixed without someone fucking jumping in. Like they built this game with their bare hands.
And shame on Digital Foundry for coming out with their video on Horizon and never mentioning any of this stuff.
No, they didn't.
And that is beyond me. Guys like ACG, shout out to him, Skill Up. They mentioned some of these flaws, awesome. I'm glad those reviewers did because 99.9% of them didn't.
Dang.
I also noticed, I won't say his name on here, but I noticed when he was doing the review or whatever, his take on it, he was saying, oh yeah, and you know what, I've decided to play it in the 30 FPS mode because da-da-da-da. And I was like, what the hell? Like 30 FPS, especially now you guys know, having the console and playing 60 FPS games, it is very jarring to go down to 30 FPS. It's horrible. Your aiming is different. Your input latency is different. It's just bad. And this thing about protecting the developers, we don't want to hurt the developers' feelings. First of all, when there's bugs in the game, most developers take pride in their work and they want to fix those bugs. So they want you to identify these problems so they can fix the game and have the most successful game, period. And you as a gamer, you should want to fix all the bugs and not damage control. I'm not gonna say the game is like unplayable and it's broken, because it's not. For me, I'm basically just experiencing the same thing that Fonz is, with the fluctuations in the dynamic range and the shimmering that it causes. And
So one way
and
to fix it though would be to turn off HDR, right? For now.
I guess so, but that
Not the
game
shimmering,
is too
though.
the shimmering's still there, but that game is too beautiful to take off HDR. You need HDR. In that
Well,
game.
it's either
looks
that or
terrible.
get your fucking retinas
OLED.
fried off. I don't know.
No, but it's the same thing. When you take HDR off, you still have that shimmering.
Yeah.
If you switch off performance mode and you go to the next mode, the shimmering is actually worse. So it's a known
So
problem.
it's just a
and,
bug that they've acknowledged, and like
they said they're gonna fix it. Now, I don't think we should like be sitting there. Well, not us, but other people saying, "Oh, the game is like broken and the game is like
It's not
trash and
broke. It's
people's
just
PlayStations
issue.
are overheating." I'm sure, unfortunately, those guys that PlayStation that bit the bullet, they probably would have bit the bullet on another game. I don't think it's a widespread issue. We get hardware failures all the time. It's just people like to blow it out of proportion. But at the
Facts.
same time, be honest about the game and let the game get fixed so it's the best game that it could possibly be. Let's stop the cap, man.
Yeah, they tell us to quit crying because we're pointing out bugs that not a lot of people are pointing out on Twitter at the time, right? And they want us to stop talking about it. And it's like, why? You know, this is how things get fixed. You got to say something.
You know, when the developer says thank you for the feedback, it helps us make a better game. This is the
Fact.
feedback they're talking about. If you don't give feedback, you're an idiot. Just like you didn't give feedback at the $10 price hike for fucking some reason. Even though when Xbox tried jacking up, doubling Xbox Live, what happened? 24 hours later, they brought it back because everybody,
we
including
were out
us, ripped them a new freaking asshole. And that's exactly what needs to happen.
And there were
If they do
guys in this
keep
community
sticking.
defending that Xbox Live.
Yeah, they were like,
price.
I think it's worth it.
You
I
know,
was like,
we gotta
oh,
pay for it
fuck.
somehow.
we
You know,
haven't
support
had
the
a price
developers.
increase in a while. What?
Hey,
Shut
let
up.
me give a shout out to Lord Starkiller, member for 17 months. This is for Horizon Forbidden West. Looks great on my LG CX and is playing on his PS4 Pro. He says too many PlayStation supporters complaining about an 88 meta. They are, aren't they? Yeah, we talked about that a little.
Yeah.
We've also got Alex Games for Fun. He says, wait though, guys, State of Decay 2 is badass and I enjoy every moment of it. Not being a fanboy, I just enjoy the game. We didn't say it wasn't a
That's
fun
cool,
game.
man.
I was
Awesome.
just mentioning how people,
It's
I
got
think,
some jank.
yeah, I was just mentioning how MBG was talking about we don't need games like God of War. We have State of Decay. That's literally what he said. I called him out on Twitter over it before he blocked me. And, now he's on a PlayStation guy, right? So I like State of Decay. I got almost 1,000 gamer score in that fucking game.
You do like that. You're the only person I've played it with. I hate you.
You're like, I'm fine. I'll get out and
totally
beat these zombies' asses. And fucking 3 minutes later, you're running for your life.
No,
Zachary,
bro,
you wanna-
they're fucking.
you wanna
I
queue
got
up for
Freddie.
these?
Yeah, I got Freddie Chavez. He says, when will developers utilize FSR in the Series S?
You've already seen it utilized, I think, in the game Mist. But yeah, you're right. More and more need to start using it. It is a
A lot
tool
more.
there for their
Yes.
disposal.
Yep. Jedi Knight Peter says, for the first time in 2 decades, COD will miss its yearly release schedule. Will this be the start of a biannual release for COD or just a one-off? I actually just read about this.
We're going to
So
talk
next
about
year-
that. We will get more into that for sure. But
Okay.
Peter, I want to shout out to you, buddy. Thank you very much. I've talked to you in a party, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, we got CUs, at little CUs, I don't know. 60 frames per second looks like a fuzzy shit show on my
Jesus.
PS1. Jeez. I can't see Ronnie Savage. It's deleted by Dreadpool.
Ronnie Savage. What did Ronnie Savage say?
I know it
Um,
got deleted.
He said, "Are you?" I don't know why Dreadpool would delete this. He says, "Are you guys leaving LG OLED for QD OLED?" Dreadpool, why are
Maybe-
you deleting? No, I don't
Maybe
think
he said something else and they deleted him, so it deletes all his meshes or hidden him.
I don't know. I
I
see
wouldn't
it.
say I'm leaving it, but I would like one.
They're going to be
yeah,
very
I got
expensive.
good news. Yeah, they're not going to be very expensive. Actually, the first gen ones, we got a price leak, and I can't really say too much of my stuff, but they're going to be cheaper than we expected them to be. So I don't know. man. I
D-Batch,
think
don't
I
pull
might
that
be able to make the
bullshit.
jump.
Don't pull that
No,
bullshit
man.
right now.
No.
Do we have to
They're gonna-
wait for you to post a video on your channel for us to find out? You fucking piece of shit.
No. I can say the general prices. Like if I know the exact price, I can't say it, but it's gonna be around like 4,000 US, man.
For what?
Yeah,
It's
start
not
around
that
there.
bad.
For Quantum.OLED.
For the
Really
size.
quick though.
For a 65.
That's not. It's all right. Go ahead, Fonz.
Going back to Horizon real quick, I just want to point out something because a lot of people, bring up the shimmer, and that's what it looks. It looks kind of fuzzy anyway because of that shimmering going on and all the foliage. The funny part is that it's touted as being 1800p checkerboarded, right? At 1800p, it shouldn't look like that. This looks more like a 1080p game or even lower res. It's just not right, and that's what Vincent said as well in his video. It's odd. Like if this is 1800p, I don't want it. They need to do something. Step it up.
It looked pretty clean to me, man.
Broke.
It looked pretty. The res, the details.
You don't see the shimmer in all the foliage when you pan the camera.
I see the shimmer, but the shimmer aside, it is high res.
But didn't they say that it was a bug? Didn't we literally just cover this?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we got Danny Passion. We got Danny Passion official. He says, this isn't the first time Digital Foundry doesn't acknowledge PlayStation games issues, but whatever. We have RDX. D, please, no more COD exclusivity talks. Why you got to bring that devil in here? Why you got to bring that in?
He's like, hey, man, come on now.
Just for you, we're going to have a 5-minute rant for me right now.
Nope. You know what we can rant on, right? Is fucking... I tweeted this out on Twitter. Chat, I wanted to at least bring this up, right? For the people asking. Because developers really are selling these consoles short sometimes, right? And we have proof of this. Right? So, as we talked about before with both Cyberpunk, which we'll get to later, and Dying Light 2, right? Exactly what was said on this show. 1080p 60 frames per second. There's no fucking reason that game should be running at 1080p 60 frames on the Series X or a PS5. We then get a patched-in VRR mode for the Series X, right? Unlocking the frame rate, letting the game just run wild. That mode, according to Digital Foundry, 1080p unlocked frame rate for Series X, just meaning, hey, all the performance is running wild. It's just doing its thing. It gets over 100 frames per second, 90-plus frames on average, according to John Linneman from Digital Foundry. So think about that. You've got 50 to 60 frames per second, potentially, just sitting there in the 1080p mode, not being used. Instead of using a dynamic resolution or a 1440p frame buffer, they're just locking it to fucking 1080p with an extra 40 frames plus sitting there with the performance that could be sticking into pixel counts. And people are bitching about these 1080p modes. Like, what the hell? You know, the 1080p, what's going on with these consoles? I'm getting pissed about this. Like, are you guys lying about this? Like, no, we told you. It's exactly what we told you. They said it, and they fucking forget it. They said it's up and running. We got bugs out the ass. We just need to get it out and running. Lock it to 1080p. It'll run it over into 100 frames a second, apparently. Average is at 90. Average.
Yeah. If you could do 1080p, 90 FPS, you can definitely do
easy
1440p 60, and you can definitely do dynamic resolution 60. So because I think, you know, at 1440p, you might have like 8 frames left over or something. So if you were to, you know, do a dynamic resolution where it scales up a little bit above that, depending on the load, you know, you could get a little bit better image quality. Bottom line is it can run 1440p 60 at the very least. So why not just unlock it?
So going from just over 2 million pixels to 3.6 million pixels for no additional optimization whatsoever. It's literally just a decision made on their part. And that's why we had an issue with Techland and the engine and somebody blaming a console like the Series S for the reason we were held back by the GPU, when we all know that's bullshit. You fucking locked. They did. They just said that shit. It's like,
did they say they're going to patch the Series S version? They
said they're going to. They need to do more than that, man. They need to patch the whole fucking game. But that's the whole point, is that they're just messing this up. Like, and it's not just them, right? Like, the Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best games last year, and that came out in 1080p. Like, developers are just not taking advantage of this hardware that's there. Like, these things, the Series X and even the PS5, they're extremely powerful. They're just not they're not optimizing them correctly. They're not using them correctly. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. And it is because they have all these problems.
That's why.
You have an 8-core, 16-thread CPU inside of these fucking consoles. You have RDNA 2 architecture. You have consoles that are able to do fucking ray tracing. You have consoles like the Series X that has VRR, that has, dynamic scaling resolution, has all these different features. Why not take advantage of it? First of all, consoles, as much as I love PC and I know the games look better on PC, most people play on consoles. Like, a lot of gamers play on consoles. Consoles sell the most. So you should be putting a lot of attention there, especially for like years it's been underpowered. Now you got the power to do what you can do with the system, and you choose to do nothing. It's unacceptable.
D-Batch, say it with me. Set it and forget it. Look. Here's the rule. Here's the rule for everybody. He didn't. Here's the rule for everybody in the chat, because I get messages about this, right? This is running at 1080p. Why is this happening? Why is the ray tracing performance this or that? Why are they doing 30 frames this or that? Guys, remember, as I've always said, the developers decide what happens with the hardware. There are no bottlenecks in this fucking hardware. There are none. There's no games on PC that require SSDs and 16 threads in 2 to work. There are none. So the developers decide what happens with this hardware. We're not shitting on the developers, but we're being honest. And some guys would rather defend developers than, just say stuff like this, or they don't know about it, but we do. We said it with Valhalla. All that stuff happened. We said it with Cyberpunk last week. The developer literally spoke out the next day, confirming what we said. We'll get to that. We said it with Dying Light. The developer, this proves out to be true as well. We've said it over and over and over. We said it with even Guardians, which didn't have a ray tracing mode. They didn't know. No one knew that it was coming, but we said, hey, they're not using half the silicon in the box.
Did they update their resolution for that game yet?
Because I have no idea. But I just want to get to. I want to get to this point, right? I want to get to this point. We can end this topic. For the guys asking in the chat, if a game launches with a bunch of bugs, right? Usually, performance and optimization isn't going to be much of the focus if the game barely fucking works for some people. If the co-op is broken, if they got infinite death loop bugs that they still haven't fixed, 30 hours of mine gone. If these issues are a thing with the game at launch, performance optimization is not the thing that they've been focusing on. They just got it up and running, set it, and forget it. At least for now. That's why I tweeted out to Techland. That's why I said, hey, you need a DRS or 1440p. This thing could do more, and this was without using next generation features, without using mesh shaders, without using VRS or half the shit that you can do. So I just wanted to throw that out there for the people wondering, and so I would stop getting questions about it. How many times this stuff got to happen, and then we say it and it fucking happens. I don't know. Punk, so have you played Dying Light at all?
Heck yeah, got over 40 hours in.
I lost that much almost.
I know you did. I feel bad for you, brother.
I'm past that, but I'm waiting for the damn co-op. I want to say this too. If people playing co-op together, if you're in a party chat and your game fucking stops working and you stop moving, like I saw Hargeet, had a similar issue, which he's not in the chat tonight, oddly enough. Now he's famous. He was on Go Live.
Yeah, he's too big now.
Yeah, he's too big. But if you're in a party chat and you're playing Dying Light co-op and your voice chat stops working, you're freezing, and one of you can't move anymore and stuff, you got to direct connect your controller to the Xbox, and your game will work. But then you'll probably just get kicked out of the co-op session because that's still fucked up for a lot of people. So, just for those that didn't know, I don't want to sit on this too long. I feel like we have, just because it's kind of frustrating seeing 90-plus frames on average there in a 1080p mode. That blew my mind. It's weird, man.
I'm glad you brought it up because it's important, man. You say this stuff all the time. And I know people are always coming to you with the tech questions, and I'm glad that you put this out there because it's true, man. These developers need to take advantage of the hardware.
And some of them can't, and yeah, it's a pandemic, and yeah, your game launched too early. That's why there's bugs. The excuse isn't that there's bugs. The excuse is, not that it's much of an excuse, but it's you fucking launched the game before it was ready. And that's why there's bugs, which is why the performance is trash.
The real excuse is the publishers want it out there on time, and the investors do as well. It has nothing to do with the pandemic and everything to do with, their investors and publishers pushing. That's it. You know what? Because they could delay a game and make a bug-free game.
Yeah, I didn't mention a pandemic. I might have mentioned a pandemic, but not specifically reference to this game.
I don't like it when people keep saying, well, it's a pandemic and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, let's get over this already, okay?
Like Cyberpunk was 98% developed outside the pandemic, people use
most of these games that were coming out 5 years ago that had bugs, that had nothing to do with the pandemic. It has everything to do with the
developer I know. The developers I know that have the biggest impact from the pandemic is Japanese developers because they were like, you could just work from home, but the living space there is not huge, and developers are like, dude, I don't have room to do that.
I'm in the bathroom
So a
making
lot
a
of
new
stuff-
Pac-Man.
No, but a lot of people just are like, hey, we can't do that. So a lot of Japanese developed games are going to be delayed in the next year or two. Like very, very hard delays because of the pandemic. That's what I know from like working in like
Yeah,
not
I'd
the
rather
gaming
have
industry, but
that.
the industry that I that's what I've heard from people that work there. And so it sucks, but you know, that's something that's going to be shining through for a little bit here. I don't know. I get the pandemic. I get all that. People were learning to work from home, but at the end of the day, it's like Dying Light 2 was, you know, released really bad. A lot of games have with a lot of bugs, and it's like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing?
Argue, Jenny, probably playing Sudoku. Shout out to It's Timmy, Jedi Knight Peter, RWK88, Lord Starkiller, other Zinc. Shout out to you, brother. TNT Boom. We've also got Quickly Purple, Snake Eyes. We've got Sin. Shout out to you. Ashtray Gaming, as well as Bud the
Ashtray, shout
Cyborg,
out.
and so many others in the chat. All the channel members, you guys are amazing. Others, it's good to see you back in the chat, man. I thought you betrayed us like a fuck. Good to see you back in the chat, man. Seriously though. But hey, we gotta give a shout out to 1,300 people watch this live. Got Fonzarelli. Thanks for
shout out. To
thank these people and be nice to them. Don't be rude like you were last week.
I'm never rude to this chat. This chat's amazing. This chat's amazing.
And we got to give a shout out to all these guys watching, man. You guys power the show. You make it what it is. Seriously, I mean it. Hit the like button if you haven't. Tell a buddy or two about the show. We do move forward a little bit. We do have some information on Street Fighter and their stolen ass Adobe stock logo. Street Fighter 6, apparently, Tim Dog tweeted out about this. He's like, don't be telling people it's coming to Xbox. They're gonna fucking, I don't know what the fuck he said, but he was basically saying, yeah, they're gonna use that against you. So I don't think he's very. I don't give a fuck if Street Fighter comes,
It's
but
not
I
going
know,
to
like
Xbox.
a lot of people, I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, but I know people like K Mega are. K Mega's big into fighting games. Why isn't it coming to Xbox, Fonz?
PlayStation 5. Because I think that Sony is going to pay to have it exclusive yet again.
So where are they getting that from? Is that actually databased, or because I saw that it might come to Xbox?
It's a lot of presumption, and people are just speculating at this point. There's nothing written in stone, but I speculate that it's not.
There was a big data leak, and the data leak stated that it would be on Xbox. We didn't know when. Doesn't say when, but the data leak says that it will be on Xbox. I think Tim was saying not to post the actual file because you'll get blasted. You'll have to remove it. So I think he was saying he's warning people now, don't post it. But I don't know. It doesn't make sense to make that game exclusive to Sony's platform with the next gen consoles and current and last gen consoles still out. Just release it on everything. Make as much money as you can. Make it cross play to make the player base huge. I think that game shouldn't be on the PS5 alone. If it is on the PS5, then it is what it is. But all signs kind of point to it being also on the Xbox. Maybe Sony has like a 1 month or 6-week window or something like that where it's exclusive, or maybe they got some exclusive perks or something like that. But
You're saying you think it will come to Xbox despite a potential exclusivity window?
Well, according to the data leak, it's saying that it will be on Xbox. So I don't know personally. I don't have any insight on it. Just to me, it would make sense for it to be on Xbox. I don't think Xbox is in the same place it was last generation, where they're like, screw Xbox. So,
but money talks, and Sony paid millions.
I think you're wrong. I think the data leak showed that you're going to get Street Fighter 5, not 6, on Xbox. It's finally coming.
You being sarcastic?
Does anybody even
sarcastic.
care? Street Fighter 5, I remember when it launched, it was like a shit show. Like, it was really buggy. A lot of
Stop making
problems.
excuses, Zalker.
I don't know, man.
I want to know for
just-
Pong. I want to know
Street
why
Fighter's a
Pong.
big game. Come on.
Pong,
People
when you
care.
hack the database, where the fuck do you get this information? And is it coming to Xbox? Damn it!
Yeah, I got this information from the janitor who works at Capcom. He said it was legit, so
Perfect.
we're gonna roll with it, right?
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
So do you think Street Fighter 6 and their stolen logo is going to come to Xbox?
I do. If I had to put money on it right now, I would say it's going to come to Xbox. Look, Capcom was in a totally different place when they took that deal from Sony. They
Good
kind
point.
of need money. And now Capcom is obviously in a much, much better place. So I think that they're going to look at this as the potential to expand Street Fighter out again. It still sold well, but it took a long time to actually sell. Like Zucker just said, it was kind of a mess when it came out. But I think with fighting games being in the position they are outside of Mortal Kombat, every sale counts. And I think that Capcom's going to look at that, and I think they will put it on Xbox. Now, whether or not there's a window of exclusivity, there might be, but I think Capcom being where they're at right now is going to be the deciding factor. And they're going to say, screw it, let's put it everywhere. Let's get Street Fighter back into everybody's hands and not shortchange anybody on this one. So I think that's where it's at.
That's a good point, though. Capcom, back when they were releasing Street Fighter, said that they didn't even have enough money to build out their new engine, which ultimately became the RE engine, right? And, that was obviously an exaggeration because they then released a remake or Resident Evil 7 with the RE engine. But they wanted to build out these remakes, which were ultimately awesome. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. If you haven't played them, play them. With their RE engine, they wanted to build these out and resell them. At least they made changes and reimagined things. They were worth buying, honestly. They sold those to basically produce money for new titles and new things. That's how low on money Capcom were apparently. They were apparently really fucking low on money. So, yeah, fighting game, I know that, like I said, there's a lot of big fans of fighting game Street Fighter. They kind of avoided Xbox last time, but Pong has a good point. They were in a low place and they were doing things in alleys for money.
Yeah, it apparently launched on PS4 and PC, and over the years it's been out, it's sold almost 6 million units or 6 million units now. So, and then they had to separate it because apparently if you had a better PC than the PS4, you had a massive advantage in the fighting game. So
because it sped it all up to the frame rate or whatever.
Yep, and it just they were like, nope, can't do that. So
yeah, so
I'm just reading about it right now.
If Street Fighter comes out, chat, let us know if you think Street Fighter is actually going to come out to the Xbox platform. Philip, by the way, says they have to use the tools. That's a fact. Dragonheart, Yobi, shout out to you, buddy. He says, hashtag peace, love, life to all of you legends. Be well. Stay safe. Thank you very much, sir. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And that was a very heartfelt super chat, sir.
Look at that, all nice and shit. We ain't used to that. Fuck out of here with that.
You guys.
With each other, we tell each other to fuck off and stuff. But chat, you're always nice to us. Everyone who watches the show, you're always amazing to us. And even some people who don't. Thank you very much. Insomniac weren't very nice today. They said, fuck the PlayStation 4. No, I'm actually kind of happy for this a little bit because, especially with all this stuff happening with games coming out with so many bugs and stuff, it's like, all right, focus your efforts. They said goodbye, and they announced that Spider-Man and Wolverine are going to be exclusively on the PS5. But
Thank God.
Hang on, this does remind me of fucking Spider-Man Miles Morales. So can they be trusted, Fonzarelli?
Oh yeah, I definitely.
Are you
think
sure?
The next Spider-Man. Yeah, I think the next Spider-Man and Wolverine. Definitely Wolverine. That's not coming out till like 2028, man. At this point,
they said Spider-Man's 2023, and they said Wolverine is 2024.
Yeah, expect 2025 on that one. I just don't trust their dates, man. They're always a little late.
Insomniac is incredibly fast at developing games, though.
I was about to say they're pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chris.
Every Sony first party is always a little late, but no, I do like that. I like hearing the fact that they're putting the past behind them with these games, because now we'll finally see a real Spider-Man game that's built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to
from the ground up.
No, I think this one will look a lot
Insomniac.
like the last one.
Yeah.
But I think,
it's gonna look similar. I'm glad too. I think 2 years for both of the consoles. I think that's a big enough window to allow people the chance and opportunity to jump over to the next generation without forcing them. I think that's fair. But at some point, you have to stop developing for the last gen systems, because you want to move forward technology and tech, and you don't want to have to always worry about scaling down. So I think it's a good thing for the industry. So I think it's good for Insomniac, and I hope other developers follow. And after 2022, we don't have any more cross-gen games.
Is there anything, because they kind of confirmed this, right? Like they're like, hey, 2023 Spider-Man. Is there any other games Sony's talking about for 2023?
God of War.
I thought God of War was end of this year.
That's what you
End of
think.
this year.
That's what you think.
Oh, you
I mean, if it doesn't come
bad.
out at the end of this year, then what the fuck do they have at the end of
No,
the
it's
year? It
coming
doesn't
out
matter.
this year. Nothing was announced for next year.
Except for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all they kind of have. And, you know, Sony, like, kind of, they do bring out, like, games, right? Like, I think
Sometimes,
we got,
yeah.
what, 3 games? I'm saying, like, the developer, like, Naughty Dog brought out 3 games last year. You know, 2 big ones, and then the kind of like the DLC with Uncharted Lost Legacy. So, I mean, I don't know. I think
well,
Insomniac's
Naughty
going to
Dog
bring
can't
out.
do everything for them, Zucker. Even though
Well,
they're-
I'm just
they're that
saying,
good,
like,
but-
I'm just saying, like, Insomniac, you know, they brought out, like, Spider-Man
It's
and Spider-Man
amazing.
Miles Morales.
They just
and then
push
now
Bullet
they're
from the
bringing
other
out
chairs. Get
2.
the fuck out of the way. We'll release this piece
Yeah.
of shit, Gran Turismo. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Gran Turismo,
Uh,
some people are excited for it. But honestly, GT Sport was a 74, 75 overall. Like, I played a Santa Corsa today, and I just wanted to go to that studio or whoever the fuck over there said we have the best physics ever, and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? The Santa Corsa's physics are so fucking garbage. At least on console, I just was blown away. We start turning, the car just starts drifting. Like, what is going on here? Anyway,
You've never driven a car, obviously. Fuck!
if
Yeah,
you've
you
even
don't know
seen
what
a car
you're
go around
talking
the
about.
corner, you're like, okay,
Do
this
you
is
have
clearly
150 hours in a Honda Civic? No.
I've got 150 hours in a Honda Civic. You've only got 5, bitch. I'm the authoritarian on this. Oh my god! Shout out to Cody Eastwood.
Stand by.
Where is Colt?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's somewhere.
That's the
Punxsutaw,
guy.
where's Colt Eastwood?
Dealer.
Right
There he
here.
is.
There he
There.
is.
Hey,
Jesus.
Jeffrey,
He shows
Jeffrey in the super chat says, "Hey, dealer, sorry, brother. Elden Ring thoughts? Don't ever apologize, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. I bought the game. I don't fucking have it right now. I have no idea, but I know it's Dark Souls again, but open world. I'm
Don't
kind of
say
looking
that.
forward
You're
to
gonna
trying
get
it.
people pissed. You're gonna
What?
get people pissed.
What? By telling the truth, it's Dark Souls 7. I don't give a shit.
I've said that to people, and they're like, "How do you fucking even say that?" I'm like, "Oh, take it easy, Jesus."
They got a butter
Christ."
knife in their hand. Like, calm down, Philip. Melted face Felix. Oh my god.
Man.
I don't know
These
why
From
people-
software fans, man, they're hardcore.
They're really
They love their-
sensitive
they
about
love
that.
it.
That's how you know they subconsciously know that. But me as an outsider, right, looking in, I'm like, what the fuck these weird motherfuckers doing? Yeah, this is Dark Souls again, and that's fine. It's Dark Souls with Sekiro. It's on the Sekiro engine, which was on the Dark Souls engine, which was Dark Souls, but with better combat. This is Dark
They're
Souls,
just
but open
mad
world.
because they're just mad because Lords of the Fallen is GOAT.
Oh my god. I played Lords of the Fallen, and I was
So
like, this
did
isn't
I.
even as good as Dark Souls.
I did it. I played for like 10 minutes and was like, "Nah, I'm out."
I'm out. Sorry, Games of Gold. I tried it with Games of
Yep.
Gold back in the day.
So did I.
I looked over, Philly B had it up above his head. He's like, look, we have Lords of the Fallen. I tried it for about, 20 minutes and realized that, I put it down. real
Apparently,
quick.
they're the same dudes that made Surge and Surge 2, and apparently those are a lot better.
They got a lot
they've
better with
actually
those.
grown. Yeah. So anyway, you never know.
They got a lot better with those. Chat, let us know if you played Lords of the Fallen. Colt vid. Yeah, shout out to Colt. He did get COVID. He's feeling better now, though. But yeah, Elden Ring, hey, looks interesting. I am excited for games to be releasing. So I'm looking forward to it. That and Grid Legends, even though I know that's going to be a lot like the previous Grid, which was not that great. I beat every event in that game. But I'm still going to play it. Shadow Warrior on March 1st. We talked about this last show when we gave Fawn shit for not going to, I don't know if he's going to play any of these, but we had a little fun with it.
No, a guy in the chat, D School, even asked if I played games, and I said no, I don't. So this goes along with that conversation.
That's
No.
pretty common in this
I won't.
community, though. I was listening to a lot of different podcasts, and I was like, man, looking at a lot of these guys, they don't actually play any of these games ever. They just kind of talk.
Shout out to Gaz.
Gas, leave gas out of this. Gas is important.
Happy
Work.
birthday, you dumb bitch.
He spent thousands on Apex. Come on now.
He did. That's it.
It was singular. I don't know if it was multiple thousands, Ponxel. Stop spreading
Yeah,
misinformation.
why you? God,
Oh,
way
you
to
know he's
go, man.
downplaying how much he spent. Come on.
No,
For
that's a
real.
good point. Yeah, if she tells you one, it's really 3.
So
So
look at
yeah,
his bank account. I spent 100. It's like fuck. He's all sweating. Can't make rent.
oh, shout out to Gas. He's a good friend. Felipe. There we go. Fuck. He says Lords of the Fallen has FPS boost now. Oh shit.
Oh shit, we jumping in, dealer.
At 900p. I can't
Oh,
wait
yeah.
to not do that. D-Batch, you disappeared. We had a really life-altering question for you, man. I lost it now.
Oh, sorry, man. My internet clipped out.
It's
It
all
got
good, man.
clipped.
It was a big deal. Shout out to
It's all that mining you're doing there. It's taking over, man.
Dreadpool
That's it.
messaged me. He said, "Don't know what happened." He's talking about the. But I was pulling my phone out of my pocket, and I guess he accidentally removed some of the super chat. So Alex enjoys games, or I think that's your name. Games for fun. Your super chat was removed on accident by Dreadpool. No big deal though. I didn't assume that Dreadpool did anything malicious like that. And
Dreadpool's always doing that.
yeah,
Confusing
purpose.
power all the time.
he's always pulling like stuff out of his pocket and deleting stuff on accident.
No,
I
he sent me a
thought you were
DM
gonna
today.
say something else.
Dreadpool sent me a
Just remind me,
DM
Alligator.
today, and all he sent me was a "fuck you," and I was like, "What's that for?"
Yeah, he's
Dread,
he,
man.
he said that.
You
and-
know what you did, Fonz. I don't want to hear it. You're not
I
innocent.
guess.
Let's
Dread,
talk
I'm
about what
sorry, man.
Activision might be doing. They might be delaying Call of Duty. Now, people are running with this pretty hard. I mean, it isn't unlikely at all, trust me. But I mean,
No.
it's not confirmed, that's what I'm trying to say. But Call of Duty reportedly could be delayed to 2024. Little Saki.
Yep. So a bunch of people are reporting on this. Bloomberg, everybody's talking about it, saying that it is happening, that it's not coming next year, and that this wasn't due to Microsoft. This was due because Activision, after Vanguard, basically wants to reassess what they're doing.
I
Because
would too.
It was that low of a game, like the sales, and they were afraid that they were basically compounding their releases and just kind of messing up the last Call of Duty. So what they plan to do is bring out the one that's coming out this year. So they're hoping that Modern Warfare 2, whatever it's called, the new one by Infinity Ward with their new engine, is going to hold on. And then they're going to have a free-to-play mode, another one coming out next year, and have Treyarch kind of help out with that. And then have Treyarch give them that 3 to 4 year cycle to build the next one for 2024.
They built Vanguard too.
Yeah, Vanguard squared. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see what happens. This is going to be. I think this is kind of like. I know they're not saying it's a response to Microsoft, but I think it also does fit. Like if it goes through and Microsoft owns them, like maybe they'll be like, hey, do you want to work on something else instead? And start moving around what divisions are doing, what studios are doing. I'm looking forward to Infinity Ward's next one coming out this year.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Warzone 2 because it's on the new engine, and I think I don't know. I still play Warzone. I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's fucking great. I think their engine's fun. I like everything about it. So it's gonna be kind of weird next year when there's no Call of Duty, and it kind of opens the door for a pretty big holiday season for anybody else that wants to take that on, right?
For Battlefield,
So-
for Battlefield
Roblox.
2042's first patch.
Battlefield 2043.
Battlefield 2043.
Jinx Pong, you owe me a soda.
22 and a half.
I hate myself.
You are not the PS5 version.
You're not the
You're
PS5.
not the PS5 version. Somebody in the chat did mention that game earlier, Shadow War, say that there is no next gen console version. That's why they said that.
That
Is
is
that
not
true?
true because I bought the game, right? Because I'm gonna play it no matter what. So I just fucking said, fuck it, I'm gonna pre-order it. And it's got the XS badge on it.
Oh, okay. So you're misinformed, I guess.
Don't talk shit about him. I'm sure he's a gentleman and
No,
a
I'm
scholar.
He was misinformed. No, because he said it was only the Xbox One, PS4, and the Ouya, I think.
Mm.
Ooh, yeah.
The Ouya's still kicking. You know, that's an unsung hero really for people limited to the $20 range in gaming, which, you know, I've been there. Hard times.
Well, that's
Shit.
why people don't see me play games. That's where I'm at. I'm on the Ouya.
Because you're famous. You're always hiding offline.
Yeah, I hide offline. Also on the PlayStation, I hide offline a lot too. But no, playing Horizon right now. It's fine.
Let us know if you're a hider, chat. Message Fonzarelli at Fonzarelli Gaming.
No, please don't.
Please
message
do. I
me,
mean,
please.
that's why he hides offline. Yeah, COD could be delayed. Pong, so I don't know if you give a shit about this any at all. Call of
That's
Duty
news.
delayed.
That's news we could have gotten. Yeah, I was calling for it as soon as the acquisition was announced that this was the move to make. And again, they're
You
saying
think they
that it
heard
doesn't
you?
have-
They said Pongsoul said delete this
Yes,
shit and
They
delay it.
did.
I mean, who
Yes.
hasn't heard him? He's on every fucking podcast on the planet.
Exactly.
Sorry, Pong. I had you, bro.
I heard
problem.
Pongsoul on Wednesday Night Madness. He said, "Fucking delay this shit right now."
Just get ready for a 10-minute outro from Pong.
Pump,
Everybody prepare.
what do you think about
look.
this Call of Duty potentially delayed? Keywords potentially.
Essentially, yeah, no, I love it. I think it's the best thing for COD. Look, I still can't install Modern Warfare from the disc. So look, it needs to be delayed. Okay,
It's got
this
problems.
has got major issues. Yeah, it has for a long time, and I think these devs need a break and really to get things straight. And if this was not in response to the acquisition, if this was just the hard internal reflection that EA didn't do with Battlefield, then I'm happy for Activision for seeing what they were doing to Call of Duty. I think they used the words cannibalizing the next one because they were releasing these so yearly after a while. That's exactly what's going on here. So good for the devs, good for the game, and obviously good for all of us, hopefully, because it'll mean a better product when it comes out. So I'm happy.
And I do have to say, like, I've played Call of Duty. Like, I mean, I think they said this is the first time it's going to happen in 18 years that we're not going to get a Call of Duty, and it's like. I enjoy Call of Duty because they do give you a lot of content. Most part you've gotten a campaign that's pretty cool, and then you got multiplayer zombies, and
But then Vanguard pops up looking like the
it's
Toxic Avenger. Hey,
yeah, I
guys.
know. And Vanguard was like, it's a little dumb. I beat the campaign. I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed that setting, the World War II setting. So I don't know. I just feel like this is needed because I think they need to reboot it and kind of see what's going. Not reboot, like you know what I mean, but like kind of just go back, reassess what you're doing, and
Just
give
release
people
a quality
more time.
product. Like if you,
Yeah.
like I don't think they're cannibalizing themselves. I think they kind of use that as a scapegoat a little bit. All that's code for we fucked up with Vanguard. It's fucking garbage to most people, and we really should probably push everything back a little bit. We're not going to support Vanguard after the fact like we did with the last 10 Call of Duties. And we're going to probably polish every product we're working on from this point forward a little bit more and use this as a leap year to get ahead of ourselves because we fucked
How
up
about
bad.
optimize the engine so we don't
But
have
I
to have
also
300 gigs.
Well, I think the engine. I think that's what the new engine is for this year, right? That's what Infinity Ward worked
Hopefully.
on. But I also think it's to push Warzone 2 because that's something that like makes a lot of money for them is that Warzone and all the microtransactions. So I think this is for them to push not only Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is Infinity Ward, which I think is one of their best developers. But it's also to get the new engine and get the Warzone going, which they're helping with again. And then Treyarch, another one of their best developers, is going to be doing that.
Yeah, and two, though, the engine is the game is so big because they do not compress the files and the textures as much, and that's actually why you have super quick load times in the multiplayer. If you think back, Call of Duty, the load times in Modern Warfare were like 4 or 5 seconds from match to match, and that's because everything was already uncompressed, and that's why the game was so big. So I think they did some of that intentionally because they want to keep people going. But the game, it's not acceptable to hit 250 plus gigs, 300 plus gigs with the HD texture packs, which no longer work.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, you got to keep your game at a manageable size here. Red Dead 2 is 100 gigs. Like Call of Duty, come on,
I think this is the best news that I've heard in a while for Call of Duty. It's the year after year after year, we just get them copying and pasting a lot of stuff. I remember before, I haven't played this year. This is like the first COD that I've skipped that I can remember, that I actually skipped. Many times I said I would skip it and I didn't skip it. I would get it. This is the first one I actually skipped and I have no interest in playing. And it's like year after year, it's copy and paste. It's just the same thing. So I think that year break is going to freshen everything up, and it gives the other teams an additional year as well. So if they even come back with the model that they have now, I think they'll be in a better place at that. And even so, I think they could maybe come out with a game every 2 years they come out with a game. The third year they skip it, then the
They
year
don't
after
need to
that, they
come out
back
every
and
year.
repeat it.
They don't need to come out every year because Warzone can just fill in that blank, right? Like new content, new maps, stuff like that can fill it in. Like you're playing Call of Duty right there, but I guess people do like the multiplayer and the
No,
zombies.
people
but
it
it
like
reminds
the
me,
campaign, though.
but it also reminds me of like what Assassin's Creed did, right? Took that year off, and then now look at them. Like Assassin's Creed, no matter what anybody says, like an assassin, like shut up. It's basically like Origin sold really well, then Odyssey broke records, and
You
then
messy bitch.
Valhalla has made over $1 billion. It's the highest grossing.
Now, first you're shilling for Roblox Battlefield, now this.
Fucking battle bit, bitch. Get
Battle
on
bit.
it.
Battle pit. Here we go.
Hey, look. Lord Starkiller says no problem for me on COD. No problem if it's not out next year. Hopefully, future CODs will fully take advantage of RDNA 2 architecture. I agree, man. I'm tired of this fucking bullshit. And hopefully developers get their stuff together and
Can we
Microsoft
just say
starts
that
leveraging.
Call of Duty actually did like take advantage of the hardware? Like they did, like at least when they came out, they had Series X and it looked insane.
Well,
When the
we
Xbox
mean like
One X
use
came
the
out,
features, use the RDNA 2 features.
I'm just saying, even the Xbox One X, right? Like I remember that's the first game I played was World War II, like WW2. That one, like Call of Duty. That's what I got with my Xbox One X when it first came out. And it looked insane.
He said RDNA 2 features.
I'm just saying they tend to take advantage. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, no one's really done this yet, so I'm with
So you
Lord
back the
Starkiller.
fuck up.
Dark CMF coming at Fonz early. He says, I don't believe Fonz is saying he's hiding online. He says he can't believe Fonz is saying he's hiding on PlayStation. He probably did it accidentally and can't figure out how to undo it. Those menus are not intuitive.
I'm an old man. I can't figure it out. I couldn't even figure out how to shut down my PlayStation. It's just that some bitch been on since I bought it.
The fucking living room's like 118 degrees. Fucking thing is hot.
In the house. It's the winter.
Well, I mean, hey, same on your power bill, except for this thing is clocked up to 2,200 billion megahertz. But yeah, we got to shout out to everybody watching live, guys. Thank you very much for doing what you do. Hit the like button, tell a buddy or two about the show, and of course, let us know your thoughts in the chat. We got some Starfield coming up and some good stuff. So I want to give this to Pong Soul. Starfield, there's been some new updates from some of the architects behind the game, including the lead artist and the lead animator. And they got some interesting quotes. And I'll let you go ahead and read these quotes for the chat. And then I will kind of introduce things and throw it back at you, get your opinion, get the panel's opinion. I want the chat's opinion on Starfield, everything you're hearing, because this mentality has really helped with these guys in their direction on building out Starfield and kind of the visual stylization as well as some of the gameplay aspects. So, Pong, so we got two really good quotes here. The first one's from the lead artist of the game.
Yeah, the lead artist had to say, quote, "We wanted a very realistic take. You can draw a line from current day space technology from there into the future. So it's believable and more importantly, relatable." And the lead animator went on to say, quote, "The idea of NASA punk specifically was immensely helpful when defining Starfield's actual world. When you said NASA punk, the art team could instantly take those two words and make it work. It was just a perfect time for our art direction and keeping everyone in flow and working with a constant style. For me, it just clicked at the start of the project. I think that was critical for us."
So NASA punk is something that they are now rolling with, right? As part of what they're now talking about with Starfield. NASA punk. It's got kind of a steampunk NASA vibe. I haven't seen anything that gives me that impression, though. But it is interesting, though, right, Pong? What's your immediate takeaway from something like this and a phrase like NASA punk going through the studio, helping teams to create a cohesive image for the game?
Why Bethesda and Todd Howard and his A-team are so good. They're at A-team again. This is why they're so good at what they do, right? They take this stuff to another level, but they really try to get the theme down pat before they even make the game. They start their games with the music, in fact, which is amazing to hear. So when I hear NASA punk, that gives me a really good idea. I know what you're saying because you think punk, cyberpunk, so you think of that kind of neon kind of experience that we got out of Cyberpunk 2077 or any of the other Cyberpunk games. But I think what they're going for here is exactly what they're stating in these quotes. And you can go back and watch Todd talk about this in some of his interviews too, is that they want to be grounded to a certain point. They don't want to go so far flung into the future, kind of like a Mass Effect, right? Where it becomes that sci-fi fantasy feel to it. They want to give us something that we could project ourselves. Okay, even if I'm not going to be alive, I could see humankind being to this point when we go to explore the universe, that I could see this being real technology that we're using, that these worlds are, there's something that there's realism on top of maybe a little future forward thinking there, but I could see humankind being there and exploring this and actually finding out why we're here. And I think that's one of the great points that they're one of the great questions that they're asking when they're making this game is why are we here as humans? So that NASA punk is really leading this team to create this vision. And I think that having that throughout the studio, everybody on board with it and really leaning heavy into it is so important. You can also go back to those interviews and hear how they've got people working at Bethesda that have backgrounds in engineering and robotics and that kind of thing. So they're really using that information, that knowledge to bring it to this game to make it believable. And for me, that's exciting. Again, this is my #1 game. I've been waiting on this game. I love Todd Howard. I love the Bethesda studios. So this for me is the big one. 11/11/22 can't come soon enough. I've got my vacation time already put in. This is going to be
It gets
huge.
delayed.
Yeah, right. I'll move the vacation time.
I
It's
like,
not delayed.
I like how
actually
you.
looking-
Hang on. I like how you met. I don't want to overlook this. I like how you referenced Mass Effect. Mass Effect is futuristic, but it's so far out there that it's very futuristic. You're seeing it on your screen. This is
talking
within
about
reasonable
steampunk.
reach, right? Like it seems like you could actually see this. Maybe if you died and came back to life and lived one more lifetime, you could see part of this somehow. It seems like it's a lot more closer to where we are today, which is absolutely correct.
And that's what we saw in the trailer, right? The guns didn't look out of, just like ray guns. They looked more like they had just kind of evolved from what we currently have. The spaceships, same thing.
Even the
sitting in
spaceships,
the yeah, exactly. Sitting in that cockpit,
now
it's something we
looking
could see.
Now looking back at that one big spaceship, I can see sort of a steampunk vibe because for those that may not know, steampunk is just basically referring to like futuristic technology with
A retro
like a
flair.
19th century kind of flair. And I could see that and it would work really well. And Pong's right. This is the type of stuff the type of genius that I like to see come out of Todd Howard and Bethesda. And I'm excited for this, man. I'm really
It kind
excited.
of, from what I'm reading, from what they're talking about, like I know some people might be like, "What the hell?" But and from what we've seen in the trailers and stuff, it kind of reminds me of like Cowboy Bebop. Like that's what it like. It's going for that like futuristic, right? Space travel and kind of just not like keep it grounded in reality. Like the show on Netflix kind of kept that grounded reality to it, where it's like, yeah, these are people doing stuff, but you're in space doing crazy shit, seeing crazy cities, and that's what they do, right? Like if you look at all the cities they talk about, that's the biggest information we've gotten is all the cities and worlds that you go to, where you're gonna go out and have that. What they say again? Didn't they say you're gonna have that like 2 oh shit moments, like that oh shit moment you get on a planet, and then that oh shit moment when you finally get a
But you
spaceship.
realize it's 3 a.m. and fuck.
Yeah. That old shit moment where you go, holy cow, like I can explore all these planets after exploring this first planet I just did.
Yeah.
Right. And they're saying they're trying to make every planet that much more believable. And this is a big dev cycle for them. What is it, 7+ years on this thing? So I'm excited for it. I hope they go with that. And I don't know, man. Like if it does that like kind of Cowboy Bebop thing where we see cool shit around and you're doing crazy stuff around the world, like that's all great. And I just hope that they put it in reality, but make it fun, right? Like the fun factor needs to be there.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
the
It
other
needs
thing,
to be
like,
fun, and I've been ranting and
It
raving
does.
about fun behind the
Yep,
scenes.
that's why I brought it up, bro.
But
That's why I brought it
I
up.
think this is a little bit more, I guess, closer to us than I would say. I get what you're getting at with Cowboy Bebop. I would say it's a lot closer than maybe Cowboy Bebop would be, as trash as that live action show was. I would say that this is functional, kind of like Vaughn says, steampunk kind of vibe to some of the technology, but you'll be building this stuff out, potentially building out stuff in fortifications or on planets or whatever the hell you're doing in this game.
Yeah.
I was talking to Lethal earlier, and he was like, man, there's so much hype behind the game. I don't feel like the hype has really began ramping up yet. I know the marketing hasn't. For that reason, it's still quite a ways out, so they're not going to do that yet. But, the hype hasn't hit mega levels like some of their past games yet for obvious reasons, right? We're not quite close
Gameplay.
enough. We haven't seen actual gameplay yet, and that's a big part of it. My question to you, Fonz, is can it or will it live up to what will undoubtedly be tremendous hype? Because Phil Spencer's saying he wants this to be the most played Bethesda game ever.
It can. And I've talked about my experience with even Fallout 4. I know Fallout 4 isn't regarded as being one of the best Fallouts because it's not.
It's a great game, though.
But it's a good game. And it had solid mechanics within it. Like the base building mechanics, in my opinion, were some of the funnest aspects of the game. I liked building the bases up, even though they meant nothing to the frickin' game, really, because you didn't really utilize them. Honestly, I mean, it was just pointless. At the end of the day, I didn't have to build anything, but I enjoyed creating those things. And I think that they're going to bring that aspect into Starfield. I think you'll be able to create your own bases and stuff on
Spaceships.
planets and stuff, spaceships, things like that. I think building, these types of things within your game, because these are the things that you will spend, I will anyway, hours and hours upon doing. And I will definitely do that. So I think that I have a sneaky suspicion. I haven't heard anything, but I think they're going to have that sort of aspect in the game.
Hey, but Starfield looking good, man. I mean, so far anyway. We haven't really seen the gameplay, that's key, right? D, I know you were kind of echoing that in the background. Zach, you want to grab these few super chats here, and then we can kind of move to the...
Yeah, so I got Dark CMF. I don't believe Fawn's saying he's...
we got that one. Yep.
Yeah, so we got Laura Sarko. No problem if no COD next year. Hopefully future COD games will take full advantage of the RDNA. We saw that. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm getting all of them. I'm just going, hey, Splendid first damn dealer, hitting all the topics tonight, huh? Earful. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Splendiferous and your weird lubrication stories.
Yeah, so we got Psychonauts. He says, this is good for the other dev teams to work on new IPs. Just keep Infinity Ward and Treyarch's making COD. Can't wait to see what other devs do next. Yep, we're talking about that.
Hell yeah.
Felipe Preacher says, God Howard delivers every single time.
God
Praise
Howard.
be his name.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah,
Blasphemy.
says hashtag NASA punk. So God Howard. He Todd Howard, I would say,
So God Howard, yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. So Jesus himself, he he does, I think he was the one that went into like Fallout 76 and helped that also.
He added
Right?
he
Like,
added
after-
the 16 times the detail.
He just freaking he went in there. I don't see a difference since launch. He had he's been actually like a part of big games, and I get it. And I think this is a little more stressful for them because it is a new IP, right? And that's the big thing. I want to see if this is going to hit because I'm excited. Everybody's excited. The hype for this being their first new IP in 20 years is kind of insane when you look at it that way, right? And I just want to see if they're going to hit it. I want to see the gameplay. I want to see everything. I know the hype's kind of been, they're putting little things out here and there talking about it, but it's all about the gameplay, and that's what I want to see. We're probably going to see it this summer, hopefully, So, yeah. And they kind of put it in ink that, hey, this is the release date, right? So,
Space Dover King, God Howard.
Yep.
God
I'm taking
Howard.
vacation that week, man.
Gone
Taking vacation for it.
Mad says, I have over 600 hours in Fall 76. You've gone mad, sir.
Bless you, God.
And then
game
Fahim,
was
shout out to you,
trash.
Fahim. Shout out to you, Flexican. Shout out to you, other Zinc again, Splendiferous. It wasn't just one night. We both know it. Shout out to Spider-Man 356. Shout out to Aaron in the chat, as well as Santos. Shout out to you, buddy. Flapjack Juice and everybody else. Justy Spud, Alton, all you guys. The guy from Good Eats. Shout out to all you guys for watching. Thank you very much for what you do. You know what, Zucker? I'm gonna save my cyberpunk rant right now because it's already been, long enough. The show's been pretty long. I'm going to give it a little more time. I recognize that, I didn't have my vitamins and stuff last night when I was ranting about
Cheerios
this.
and shit.
Yeah. Even though I was told in a mission on Cyberpunk, all right, now you're here. All right, now we're going to talk. All right, now we're going to do one of those Batman Origins scanning things that you do, but you're going to do it 3 times in 3 different modes. Okay, now go buy a porn tape from a guy under a bridge. All right, now come back. We're going to go spam. We're going to scam again. We're going to go scan everything. Like, there's so much fucking dialogue, and I'm just doing it anyway, aren't I? There's so much dialogue in Cyberpunk that I find utterly useless with choices that just don't matter. And remember, I waited a year and something to play this fucking game. I am one of the biggest fans.
Right.
I'm one of the biggest fans of Witcher 3, one of my favorite games of all time, right? Top 2. And I just don't even feel like this is a CD Projekt Red game right now. It's weird. It is just weird. And that's why I want to give my full take with more time in the game. I'm probably 15 hours in. And I just don't feel
I loved
the
it.
same about this game. I don't feel like the gunplay's that good. I don't feel like it should be first person even. I don't feel like it's made by the same motherfuckers who made Witcher 3.
I don't think it should have been first person. I thought if it was like third person, the game would be a lot better. I thought there should have been an option to at least do third person for sure. As a shooter, it's okay. Like I don't want to sit there and say it's not okay. I understand what you're saying about the dialogue. There is a lot of dialogue, but you kind of get used to it.
Dude, I found
guess
myself
after
I
a
like
while.
games with meaningful dialogue, right? Mass Effect, what you're seeing right now, love Mass Effect. Just ran through 1 and 2. I'm on 3, right? Then these other games came out, so I'm taking a small break. Witcher 3, obviously tons of dialogue, but it actually fucking matters. There's dialogue in Cyberpunk. I am, for the first time in an RPG, as of last night, skipping the fucking dialogue in some of these areas because it is pointless. It is a waste of time. I spend more time getting to the mission and talking to fuckfaces. I don't even know who they are. I don't care. They're not interesting to me. Than I do actually playing the mechanics of the game. Then when I get into a mission, I'm forced to scan shit. And it's like, what the hell's going on, man? Like,
Dealer, that's early on. Trust me. I'm 250 hours for my first gameplay. Okay, for my first playthrough.
Please
Okay?
save me,
There
Punk
is a
Soul.
Very
lot.
meaningful dialogue.
There's a lot more to it, and you get a lot of those Witcher 3 side quests as you go through it. Trust me, there's some emotionally impactful side quests that are
Facts.
better than even the main story. It is
Good.
it is in there. You just gotta get through that
Rejuvenate me,
beginning.
Punk Soul. Go more.
Keep going because it gets better, and as you get your stats up and you decide what kind of class you want to build and all that kind of stuff, it'll get much better. Trust me, it will.
Trust me.
Does it?
I
wait,
just-
Pong,
the
does
weird
it
thing was
be- is the story better than Lemon Field Feathers 36, or is it like as good as it, or what?
It's on par with 34, not 36.
Got it.
The hell are y'all
If
talking
you're
about?
a big fan of 36, you might think it's lacking a little.
No,
I have-
there
I
is
have a-
some memorable
I
moments
just
in
remember
that
the
game,
first
man.
Witcher
The dialogue.
Contract and Witcher 3, Devil by
yep.
the Well, is better than everything I've experienced in Cyberpunk, hands down. And it's the first fucking 10 minutes of the game, I feel like.
Well, they do not have the first-person shooting combat down at all at CDP. Okay, it's not the greatest feeling. That's
Okay,
why,
mid.
Dealer, I spec'd into hacking. And I did a lot of hacking and did a lot of stuff to where I could
Hacker!
like, throw contagion on people and,
Yeah, they
burn
killed
them.
Yeah.
And it was fun. But yeah, there's a lot of moments in the game where the storylines just hit really deeply, and are the characters are so impactful and great. I
Okay.
cannot stress that enough. I really loved the game. I thought it was fantastic, but the beginning moments where you're talking about the scanning and everything, and especially that mission. Oh, I hated that mission.
Is it
I
just the
frickin'
beginning,
hated
or
it.
they just introduce all that just to never do it again? Because it's a
No,
lot.
you
Like, you
use
got to
it
do
very-
thermal
you use
sound
it
and.
very-
very
later.
infrequently later on.
Okay.
You don't
Yeah.
have to do those. There's not a whole lot of those scanning missions, and some of the ones later on are really good. That opening one, I agree with Fonz wholeheartedly. It's absolutely terrible. It was awful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing the one now
I-
where you find Evelyn. I found her, and I'm like, oh my god! Like, I was stuck
I
in that
can't
bunch
wait.
of dialogue with the scanning shit, and I did the scanning thing, came out of it. This other chick was talking to me, and I was like, holy fuck! We just talked about this in the scanning thing. I don't want to talk about it again. So I started bashing through it. Then she shoots me into another fucking scanning thing. And I was like, oh my god! Like I was like, I have to be just in a pissy mood or something. I've never been like this with a game like this, but it was so annoying at the time.
I gotta say a few things like that I'm annoyed with. It's not story related or per se gameplay related. Is that they waited so long to give us this next gen version, and all they gave us was ray tracing shadows. Now I have an RTX 3090, so I've played this on the PC, and I gotta tell you, it's a vastly superior looking game on the PC, like 100%. I don't know why they wasted all that time to just add ray tracing. Shadows,
I mean, it gets up to like
because-
1700 something p on the consoles as it is now. Like, they could have turned on more settings even.
Yeah, when I honestly, I would just play it at the performance mode because it's really hard to tell. The only like true nerds like us that are like pixel peeping and freeze framing it and putting it side by side can tell the difference, because it's really hard to tell the difference. And another little gripe that I had over the weekend, I saw some guys doing a review on it. And, when in the comparisons, they said that it ran at a higher resolution, which I noticed right away because I have both versions. I did a comparison on my YouTube, and I noticed that the Xbox Series X was a slightly higher resolution. I noticed that the colors are a little bit different too. They're using different gammas. Nonetheless,
I'm not in the prologue. Like, the fucking Cyberpunk thing popped up. It's nothing it's nothing. I'm not just talking to someone in the chat. It's nothing like White Orchard. White Orchard was way better than everything I've experienced right now. Like, the side missions and the contracts in White Orchard was much better intro in every way than Cyberpunk. If you haven't played Witcher 3 and you think Cyberpunk is a fucking good game, go get your mind blown. Even for what I
think
play
you could
right
play
now,
more of it,
it's a much better. I'm gonna play them. I've already got 15 hours or whatever in. Like how much do I gotta fucking play to know like what's good in almost 20 hours? Like I'm gonna play more of the game, but there's people out there that haven't played Witcher 3 that have played Cyberpunk. Like I'm just telling you, right now I'm sure it gets better, but right now Witcher 3, Geralt's fart would melt this game. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, just to finish.
Yes, D-Batch?
He died.
All right. Hey, let's do some outros. What do you think?
He's minting some more NFTs.
Hey, shout out to Zatanna Bethany. You've been hiding on Xbox for like a year. She says fan fiction. If Xbox acquired Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines IP from Paradox Interactive, what studio would do it justice? I have no fucking idea.
Arcane.
Jinx.
Arcane.
Yeah, oh no, the soda.
I guess so. I don't know. Bethany, hopefully that answers your question. And then Darnell Hill, shout out to you, buddy. He says the ending with Judy made me cry. The voice actress did a really good job. I'm guessing he's talking about Cyberpunk. But yeah, just to recap there, like I'm excited.
I'm Judge Judy.
Maybe Judge Judy. I don't know. Maybe she's out there solving crime still. I have no idea. But Cyberpunk, look, I'm going to play the hell out of this game. It's just I waited a year and something expecting a little more, and I feel it's a weird feeling CDPR game, and I'm allowed to fucking think that. That's all I got to say about it. I think it's weird so far for them, and I think that there's a lot of things that feel like they were changed in development. It's a weird feeling game for them. And the aiming, I need to get some dead zone settings for some of you guys. If you got any, tweet at me. Xbox, if you're playing Cyberpunk on Xbox, II space dealer space II. Help me get these first-person controls feeling better, and maybe that'll help a lot. But right now, I just want to kind of do my thing.
Have you met Johnny Silverhand yet?
Yeah.
Hey, let me just finish this point though. What I was saying about the frame rates performing better on the PlayStation 5. First of all,
what part though? Because there's parts where it doesn't.
Well, overall, just period. Listen, if you're truly playing on a next generation display, you should have VRR. You should have a VRR TV on Samsung, on an OLED TV. Most people playing next generation consoles do have these TVs. Now, if you have these TVs, the Xbox Series X is going to perform better all the time because you're never going to see those dips. And I wish that these guys reviewing these games would put that asterisk there when they're doing these comparisons, because if you have a VRR display, you are literally not going to see any drops. It's going to be really smooth, which is going to give you a better experience than the PlayStation 5, which does not offer VRR. So that's my only point.
But that's why I don't have it on though, D. That's why because I want to know who's getting what out of what. Even though the Series X overall runs at a higher resolution and stuff, they should be not be having this kind of gulf anywhere, because the CPU is quicker. At all times it's locked. The GPU is quicker. At all times it's locked. The RAM is faster.
I think the problem is that they're running it at a higher resolution, which is a little bit taxing in certain areas. I also think some of their NPCs, they also didn't cover this, and I noticed it, that the NPCs, and it's kind of dynamic, but still I noticed that there was more NPCs on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, and this is also going to contribute to it running a little bit different in the frame rates. But once again, if you have VRR, you have a VRR display, you are not going to see that any of those dips. It's going to be a smooth experience at a higher resolution, actually making it a superior version. So
yeah, I think John
really
Linneman mentioned
need to
that.
put that in mind.
He did?
John
Linneman came back a day later and said he would give it to the Xbox. So, at the end of the day, I don't even give a fuck. Like, in 6 months, according to Digital Foundry, the game will run better and look better anyway, because the drivers and the tools will come forward, just like they did with control and all that shit, right? So, I want to go ahead and move forward. They did also say they're bringing they're working on a frame rate boost for Series S, just like we said they would fucking do. Series S potentially getting to 60 frames mode, and there's no reason that can't be around 900p, 1080p at 60 FPS, even if they're not using checkerboarding or FSR, which they haven't used it. So we will see. But I want to do some outros, guys. It's been a long show. Awesome chat. 1,300 people tonight. Shout out to you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in and letting us know your thoughts. Hit the like button and tell a buddy about the show as we do some outros. Support everybody here. And, of course, let us know your thoughts. Shout out to everybody in the comments. and everybody who makes the show go. D-Batch, what have you been playing, and where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me on YouTube, D-Batch, and of course Twitter, D_Batch. I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West, playing a little bit of Sifu, still playing some Halo. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Dying Light. I'm playing a little bit of Dying Light as well.
Dying Light, huh?
Dying Light.
And let me tell you, on the PC, it is not optimized, man. Even on my 3090, I gotta put all these little tricks on just to get 60 FPS at 4K, man.
Just throw that 3090 in the trash, bro.
We've also got Fonzarelli, brother. What have you been playing? Tell people when they can expect your video tomorrow, and of course, where can they find you?
Yeah, I don't play any game at all.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just here to talk about games.
Perfect.
I talked about Horizon because I'm not playing it. Yeah, that's what I'm playing. Horizon Forbidden West, having a blast with it, despite its issues. Yeah, and tomorrow I do have a video coming. I made it today. I talked to Dealer today on the phone, and I was like, I'm making this video, and Dealer was like, he gave me an idea, and I go, yeah, okay, I'll run with it. Anyways, that's coming out tomorrow morning at some point. I haven't nailed down a time, but it's already uploaded, ready to go.
He'll release it around 11 a.m. my time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Around 11 a.m.
God's time.
11 a.m. Eastern time. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, so I'll have a video out tomorrow, and then I have Games Talk Live Sunday, which I will have the prestigious Zocker 87 on. He's going to make it this time.
Trash.
You got some other guy named Zalker?
Yeah, exactly. Zocker's going to be there, guys, so that's going to be a fun
Hell
one.
yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Trash.
What a piece of shit.
Hey, Zalker,
Dealers.
where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
You guys find me on Twitter, Zocker87, YouTube, Zocker87. I've been playing Lost Ark a lot, having a lot of fun with that game. I'm trying to get to max level so I can do some of the end game stuff. Looks pretty cool. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Was playing that today. God, that game is so good. I played Sea of Thieves over the weekend with my buddies. We had a great time. There's some new content out, some new story missions, really fun. And then I've been playing Warhammer 40K Battle Sector on Game Pass and Warhammer Total War 3. So yeah, I'm playing a lot of fucking games. I don't know what the hell, man. I just keep jumping between them. If the strategy games are just great. Game Pass has provided a lot of them, so I love that they're kind of going for that. And yeah, it's pretty much everything I've been playing mostly. Don't play Dying Light. There you go.
That's rude.
I'm gonna hate on that game.
Very, very rude of you to.
I'm a piece of shit. I
tell
know.
people not to play Dying Light.
And I will be Sunday on Fonza's show. So yeah, man, looking forward to it. We've been trying to lock that down. So yeah.
Dark CMF says Zocker 88 is a newer model, but damn, Zocker 2042 is trash.
Stupid.
Thanks, man.
For Havoc says Legacy of Kain needs to be resurrected.
Yes, it does.
Biscuit, risk it for the biscuit, says Cyberpunk does 100 FPS. Wait, what? Cyberpunk does 100 FPS with VRR unlocked to FR. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But shout out to you guys. Thank you guys. All channel members. You guys are fantastic. All of you guys. The patrons. Everybody who watches the show. Hits the like, leaves a comment, engage with the show. Thank you guys for doing what you do. Seriously. Pong Soul, a guest tonight. You were here for the whole show. We had a little fun here, wilding out, but we always do, man. Thanks for coming by and tell people where they can find you. And of course, what have you been playing?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the invite. Honored as always. Appreciate all of you brothers. Love everything you guys do here. So it's great to chat with you guys. Obviously you guys were the first show I found when I jumped in this community, and I've been listening to you for a long time. So love it being here. It's crazy still to me. But yeah, find me Pong Soul on Xbox and Twitter. I've been playing Cyberpunk, of course, Dying Light 2, NBA 2K22, my team, Domination. Yeah, it is, but I still love it. So it is what it is. And about 15 other games. So that's me. I graze a lot. So, but otherwise, yeah, I got the RDX version tonight. I won't make everybody wear their Depends. So PM in the PM Thursday nights over on Fun Speculations channel. That's Thursday nights, Friday nights, Xbox Ultimate back on Fun Speculations channel. Saturday mornings, Living Split Screen's all one word. Show up there 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time in the morning. So set those alarms for Living Split Screen. Shop podcast on Saturday nights over on PTK Blam's channel, and then Tuesdays on Xbox Factor podcast with Mr. Boomstick and Double Barrel Gaming. Otherwise, just follow me on Twitter. You can find it. I'll always be tweeting out stuff and letting everybody know where I am. But otherwise, again, it's been an awesome night. Chat, you were all amazing. Thank you all for the love and support. This is the golden age of gaming, so enjoy it, please. No better time in history to be a gamer than right now. Play what you love what you play, and I'll talk to you all real soon.
Yeah, I mean, Pong, we've played I don't know how many hours of 2K together, right? 2K21. Yep. You were there for a lot of that 40 days I had in that fucking trash game.
Oh yeah.
And we had a lot of fun. So that we have fun and make jokes. And we you fuck. We have fun and throw each other on the barbecue grill and laugh and help each other off with the fucking thing, right? And it's just something we do, man. So thanks for coming on and putting up with us and tolerating, us just having fun with you, man. I know you do it as well, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that, anybody who watches knows that we just have fun. And I'll say, goddamn, that's a lot of podcasts, but that ain't me actually saying, goddamn, that's a lot of podcasts. It's me saying, fuck, that's a lot of podcasts.
It is a lot of podcasts. Holy shit.
Goddamn, that's a lot of podcasts.
Goddamn, that's a lot of podcasts.
Like I say, I love it.
Yeah, man. And that's what I say. You can roll with the punches and stuff, man. So that's part of what it takes to be on the panel. And
I got a question for Pong. Pong, are you married?
Yes, I am, sir.
With that many podcasts? Damn.
Yes, sir. Well, but we're empty nesters at this point too. So the kids are gone, so that makes it easier. And my wife is in the true crime community.
It's like, why'd you move out? Because my fucking dad does podcasts every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, seriously though, thanks for coming on, chat. Thanks for supporting everything we do. Without you guys, it wouldn't be no fucking show. And again, once a week, every Tuesday, show up here. RDX podcast, Real Deal Xbox podcast, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Hit the bell icon, hit the subscribe icon. And of course, follow these guys here on the channel. You can find me at ii_dealer _ii on Xbox Live, at dealer_gaming on Twitter, and of course here on YouTube, where I wanted to make a video Monday, but something popped up, and I look forward to getting back into some of that stuff. So hopefully I have a video out in the next day or two. Shout out to all of you that checked out my last one. And of course, if you haven't, check it out. Check out the backlog, all that good stuff. Mixing it up, having some fun, because that's what it's about. We are out.
Later, everybody.
It's a wrap.
Marlon.